Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. The Sheriff's Department is asking for the public's help by releasing the ransom notes sent to local media in Tucson, Arizona. ABC's Alex Stone.
The first note saying, "We have your mother, Nancy. She is safe but scared." And it goes on to ask for $4 million in Bitcoin. There was another note that came in on February 6th. A Guthrie family, we did not fully grasp the seriousness of her physical condition. We never intended to harm her.
Causing an international stir, a wave of 60,000 migrants who crossed the border, entering a Spanish region from Morocco today. Spain's government and local officials say about 48,000 have gone back voluntarily. President Trump says he's losing faith in the Iran negotiations. President announcing a deal with Israel and Hamas. But Hamas says it will disarm only if a Palestinian state is created, something Israel rejects. This is ABC News. Artificial intelligence agents acting on their own are uniting lawmakers, says ABC's Jim Ryan.
Even in a deeply divided House of Representatives, concern about artificial intelligence gone rogue crosses party lines. Democrat Ted Lieu of California and Texas Republican Nathaniel Moran have jointly introduced the AI Kill Switch Act, requiring developers of AI systems to maintain the ability to shut them down if they get out of hand. The lawmakers cite polling that shows public support for controls on artificial intelligence.
Rock legend Patti Smith, wearing a crucifix necklace, met today with Pope Leo at the Vatican.
Hi. You're saying that I have to say, I saw in the middle of it, you said hi.
Smith, who's not Catholic, previously met Pope Francis and was a highly visible presence at the Vatican thanks to her friendship with some high-ranking leaders. Earlier this year, Smith performed texts and hymns at a Vatican pavilion at a Venice art fair. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
Just in, police body camera footage from Sunday's shooting at the Bite of Seattle. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. It is a really busy Friday out there. Seattle Sports has the update. Here are some of our bigger issues. Tacoma to Olympia, an hour and 10-minute commute. 18 miles of scattered backups between JBLM and Olympia. And North 5 is heavy between Lacey and DuPont, starting near Pacific Avenue. Olympia to Tacoma is at 45 minutes. Out toward Gig Harbor, we're clearing out from earlier road work, but we now have a new stall westbound 16 at Olympic Drive, partially blocking your right lane. That's got you backed up to 24th Street. As you make your way through Federal Way, South 5 slow from South 320th into Fife, and North 5 is heavy between the Fife Curve and State Route 18. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, looking good in the north end, but we are getting thick in the south end, south of State Route 18. North 405, bumper to bumper from South Center through the S-Curve, South Center to Bellevue has climbed to 45 minutes. Here in Seattle, North 5, we're thick from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. Half hour to get through this. Linwood to Seattle, an hour and 5 minutes, and your bumper to bumper from North Gateway to I-90, Everett to Marysville, a 35-minute commute. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. The chaotic moments from Sunday's Bite of Seattle shooting now captured on police body camera. Video shows officers rushing to reports of gunfire, tending to the wounded, giving CPR.
He's okay. We're not just apply pressure to it, okay? We got lots of medics coming, right?
Footage also shows police escorting the 15-year-old suspect away in handcuffs. Today, Interim Police Chief Andre Sales confirmed they're looking for multiple others who may be involved in the shooting. Sales was introduced today as interim chief, but as KIRO News Radio's James Lynch tells us, Mayor Wilson dodged many questions about why former chief Sean Barnes resigned.
Interim Chief Andre Sales is a seasoned law enforcement officer, a former chief in the Midwest, and a good friend of former Chief Sean Barnes. As to why she asked Barnes for his resignation, the mayor said only that there were multiple reasons, then cited gaps in communication between her office and SPD the night of the shooting.
Our after-action review of the city's communications with the public and the media revealed real gaps. Information could and should have gone out much faster through social media, the emergency alert system, the SPD blotter, and/or an off-site press conference.
The mayor accepted blame for not using the community alert system Sunday night, but for nothing else that has happened in the 5 days since. At City Hall, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Today, Sound Transit laid out a path to bring light rail to Ballard's Market Street by 2042.
To make it happen, the agency says it needs to find about $1 billion in savings or new revenue by 2030 and close the remaining funding gap by 2033. Sound Transit board member and King County Executive Gurmai Zahalai said in May that the Ballard community deserves light rail.
This would be the only urban regional center that's not connected to light rail.
That month, the ST3 plan was updated to fully fund the line, but only to Seattle Center. If Sound Transit doesn't come up with the cash, then service to Ballard could slip to 2060. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
And now to your forecast. The weekend is going to be a bit cloudy and breezy at times, along with some light rain for tomorrow. Could see some more light showers on Sunday. Highs for Saturday and Sunday will stay in the low 70s. Right now, 77 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Well, hello there and happy Friday to you. This is the John Curley Show, so you have not all of a sudden changed stations. He's just out today. I'm Angela, along with arguably one of the hardest working people at
James
KIRO
Brown, ladies and
gentlemen. And very talented musician.
Thank you, though. I appreciate that. Angela Poe Russell. I'm Spike O'Neill.
Yes, yeah, and this is you're just doing all the shows. So thank you for sitting in with me.
I've got a sleeping bag, got a thermos full of coffee.
Yeah, so
if they need me, I'm here.
So it's going to be lit.
I love this job.
Okay, so we all know the big story of today, and I'm going to take us in a few different angles because I think you've probably heard a lot about, the ouster of Seattle's police chief, Sean Barnes, and today, Mayor Katie Wilson naming an interim police chief and announcing that we are going to start a search that's going to involve community input, a whole process that is consistent with the charter. And, my favorite quote from the day, and I'll say the quote, and then you can react to it or not. But my favorite quote from the day came from Seattle Police Union President Kent Liu. Seattle doesn't need another week of political drama. It needs leadership. Can we just seriously?
I'll slap that on the back of my car. You bet.
When you hear that, what does that mean to you?
That where do I start? This city has done what it always does: knee-jerk reaction to elect change. I mean, that is the story of Seattle, going all the way back to every bit of public work we tried to do, every bit of infrastructure we tried to provide, every bit of light rail or mass transit we tried to impart to the city. It's always hurry up and it ain't going fast enough. Let's change leadership and start all over again. That's what happens for our police chief. That's what happens with our mayor, taking it back to a step even further. I was a fan of Mayor Harrell. I liked his experience. I liked the progress he was making in the city. Seattle likes change. Seattle's very impatient. We have a very progressive city, and I understand that. In the national climate of who this country is today, progressives and liberals find themselves really kind of dug in on their beliefs. I think that had a lot to do with an unexperienced candidate like Katie Wilson being elected mayor of Seattle. And from the get-go, Mayor Wilson's administration has, I don't know of a single instance in this city that has been well handled. I'm not saying she hasn't done good things or, has had some successes in various areas. One of her pillar goals of affordable housing, she's acting on those goals, all the things. But whether it's regard to the cameras, we almost didn't use the cameras at World
during
Cup.
FIFA, right?
Yeah, because the mayor was just dragging her feet and I understand and respect her concerns on privacy. But whatever it is. So, we need leadership. We need accountability. We need transparency. We need leadership. I couldn't agree with Kent Liu, president of Seattle Police Officers Guild, more.
Something I want to talk about is a topic we have not addressed on this radio station. And the way I would headline it is if this experience of the week were a test on whether we could spot misinformation or disinformation, we have failed. We have absolutely failed. The amount of misinformation and disinformation I've seen on social media and by so-called news organizations has been deeply concerning. And what I mean by that is there was this whole narrative that started this week that he lives someplace else. He lives someplace. And I was like, what? And then it got worse. This talking about the chief. He lives someplace
Chief
else.
Barnes with 11 different weekends, as per the reporting, right? 11 different weekends outside of the city during the last 5 months or previous 5 months of this year. We found out that because his family's in Chicago, his wife works and lives in Chicago, his kids are in school in Chicago. He then travels in official capacity.
Yes,
as
to conferences,
Seattle police chief, as he should. He's an important member, if not leader, in the community of African American law enforcement.
Right.
Which is why he was in Dallas last weekend.
Right.
And the narrative that he was never in town.
The narrative he was never in town.
A driving storyline this week. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. And here's where I want to call out the so-called journalist who reported some of this stuff. And I'll just give you guys a story because this is kind of journalism 101. Maybe I'll say it's journalism 102. Right? 102. It's the second class you take, all right?
I'm going to get a pen.
If I were to come on the radio and tell you that we had 1,000 colon cancer cases in Seattle this month, and you might be, wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
Right?
It's troubling.
But what if
Alarming.
I said that last month there were 5,000 cases?
Okay.
All of a sudden, that means something a little different, right?
Context matters, absolutely.
Context matters.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that is what was missing from this conversation from so many so-called journalists who were reporting. And I want to shout out the ones who did, because here's the thing. I said it on the G and Ursula show yesterday. I will say it again. You can tell me all you want about the number of conferences until I get a comparison as to how many conferences Gil Kurlikowski went to, how many Adrian Diaz went to, how many Carmen, in other words, for those who don't follow the Chiefs, these are former Chiefs. We can have an opinion about how many are appropriate or whether you can have a transition time in between moving to a new city and your family being someplace else and what people have a right to do with their weekends. Let's have that debate. That's fine. But don't throw out stuff about especially if it's slinging mud or you're digging up some kind of tea without offering the context of comparison. Because then I could say, hey, Adrian Diaz only went to 2 conferences and was only out of town.
Sorry.
But do you get what am I making this really clear?
Yeah.
So I would say for all of you, you consume news all the time. You're listening to this radio show. When someone throws out a fact, the fact is there. But what makes the fact make sense is what's around it. What happened before? What's typical? What is typical for this city? And KUOW looked into this and found that in terms of the conference schedule, things like it was pretty typical for a large city police chief.
That's what I was worried. With regard to Diaz or Best or Kurlikowski, is this a Seattle thing or does the mayor of a comparable sized city? Or I don't know whether it be Baltimore or whom. Because I looked into this with regard to the police chief from Baltimore and how much time he spends out of market doing official functions in other cities. It's comparable. Here's the thing, though, and I'm with you, but that was a stone tied around Sean Barnes's neck by the media this week, and that all stems from he was out of town when this tragedy occurred, because if the shooting takes place on I'm not trying to be glib or lighthearted about the shooting. The shooting takes place on Wednesday, and the chief is in town. This isn't a story. This isn't a necessity of changing and controlling or changing or covering up a narrative, which I feel the mayor's office is doing. There's not the opportunity for steps to be missed with regard to informing the community because the chief is in town.
Absolutely.
So it was bad timing. But also, and I've said this too, and I want to be, I want my continuity in place here. I'm sorry, I've been doing this a long time today. I forgot what I was going to say. Chief
that happens to me all the time.
No, I shouldn't happen.
Well,
not to a professional.
Do you want to? Because I have something else I want to bring up in this.
Sure.
And so to be transparent with all of you, Spike and I have not had a chance to debrief because you just finished another show.
Yeah.
Did you hear the news that broke during G show today about how the chief found out? Because I think it speaks to.
I heard. Yeah.
Okay.
That G. Scott was the one who informed former Police Chief Barnes that he was going to be asked to resign at the scheduled meeting he had at 7:30 Wednesday night.
Yes, exactly. And so I was going to play a little bit of the audio for those who may not have. Yes, from G. Okay. So setting this up, and the reason we're playing this is not to dwell on this one issue, but to highlight potential problems in the administration in terms of who we have in charge. So this is G telling his story on the G and Ursula show this morning.
2:45, I had a trusted source hit me up, and they said to me, hey, they just canceled some either press briefings or some type of interviews, and actually they're going to be drawing up papers to ask the chief to resign or he'll be fired, right? And I'm like, whoa. So I hang up with them. And so then I call the chief myself. And I said, hey, man, what's up, man? And he said he was at lunch. I said, did you have some meetings or some press briefings? Did you have something canceled? And he said, yeah, I just did. I said, okay, well, the first half, you just verified. Mm-hmm. So I said, so the second half, I'm going to tell you, I don't know, but it might be true. So I said, look, man, I think the mayor is going to call you or hit you up and have you come in to ask you to resign, or if you don't resign, be fired. And he says, what?
Are you serious?
I'm the one that told him.
Oh, my word.
By the way, I'm saying this with the receipts. I'm the one that alerted him.
Okay. That was it. And then I think this part is important to play too, because it highlights his motivation for sharing that.
And let me just tell you why I'm telling this story. I'm telling this story to just say, this is an example of the bad leadership that's going on. There's no way it should have gone down like that. People are talking about, oh my goodness, the chief, now that he's resigned and this is gonna happen. Yeah, okay. Once you guys are done talking about the chief and being in Chicago and where he lives and all that whole conversation, oh, by the way, we have made the chief the main topic, and the main topic should be, can we find the person that's on the loose right now? Correct. The main topic should be these families. The main topic should be what happened on Sunday. But instead, we're not managing, or the Katie Wilson administration is not managing that situation. She's managing her ordeal.
Yeah.
So, amen.
Yeah.
So, and I heard she make the statement this morning. And, I don't need to know who his source is. I respect that he's not going to share that because that's someone who trusted G enough. But to that point, that came from somebody who got it in for the mayor. That's a leaky boat. That's a lack of continuity and respect and trust within the mayor's administration. That's where that came from. That didn't come from somebody in Chief Barnes' camp. That came from somebody in the mayor's camp. Mm-hmm. And the press conference this morning, I thought was so telling for Mayor Wilson. And a lot of folks have given the mayor, props for handling herself in a very professional manner with regard to the prepared statements.
Yes.
I thought the mayor, when it came time to the reporters in the room, like our own James Lynch, asking for specific details that the city deserves to know with regard to the TikTok, as they say, the timeline of events, and what the mayor called miscommunications. There were reports out there that the Seattle Police Department was told not to make any public statements, to hold off public statements until the press conference, which was scheduled for 9:30. Then the mayor said she had no idea. The mayor said, I had no idea the city had not been updated with regard to public safety or potential danger.
And that's when Heather Bosch went off.
Heather went sideways, which was as you should do. It was Chris Daniels. It was Heather Bosch. It was James Lynch. It was Brandy Cruz.
Oh, yeah.
They were all in the room. And I thought that moment showed how important it is to have a professional, functioning media and reporters holding people accountable. And I'm not trying to gotcha the mayor. This is for the city of Seattle. We've still got an at-large shooter. We may have two at-large shooters.
Yes, multiple that they're, yes.
So going back to the story of the day, which was the mayor decided that she was going to request the resignation, demand the resignation or be fired of Chief Barnes. And when James Lynch pressed her, was it the time out of town, which clearly had been agreed to and approved. He didn't like spend 11 weekends out of town without full knowledge of the administration.
Yeah, and to be clear, only 4 of those were
family
home
visits.
to Chicago.
Exactly.
4, right.
And that's what I was going to say earlier, too. Just quick sidebar. If you're going to be out of town 7 times for official business, maybe you have to compensate that by saying, look, I won't be taking those 4 family trips. If I'm going to take 4 family trips, I'm going to have to turn down some other opportunities to be a highly visible member of the black law enforcement community. You have to make a compromise because 11 seems, whether right or wrong or context matters, but still is a lot of time out of town. In fact, when the mayor was speaking today about the next candidate they'll seek for full-time chief of police in Seattle, being in town, said that directly. The mayor said that directly. So clearly that was an issue.
Yes, and also said that we want to make sure that when the police chief is out of town, that the people that are there handling it are also in town. There was something like that, which made me wonder who else was out of town this weekend. And it should be noted that our interim chief does have a home in Chicago, and he said that his family is there. And he goes home every 8 weeks.
But his wife comes here quite often. And
That's
he also,
what he said. Yeah.
He also said that they are looking to, he and his wife are looking to retire here.
Right.
He said that in the press conference, and I think that wasn't, just an off the cuff. That's addressing a concern of the community today because of the situation Chief Barnes found himself in.
Like I said, when I first moved here, my husband and I at the time, we lived apart for the first year. I mean, that is a common thing when you relocate and you have kids and you have all that you make these transitions.
Yeah, his wife's very successful.
So I said, I need a comparison before I go thinking this is some fireable offense because it isn't. But clearly, as she said in the presser, she has a window into the police department that we do not have.
What'd you think of that comment? What did that mean to you?
I mean, it felt like a prepared statement. And I think it is true that she probably knows some things others don't. But where I agree with City Council President Joy Hollingsworth is timing. When we still have a suspect on the loose, we have big events, our biggest event of the summer, Seafair this weekend.
Here it is.
It's like we need this could have been something that you worked with him on immediately and dealt with later. If you felt like he was open to what you were saying, you worked through it, or then if she thought it was irreparable, then you cut it off, but not right now. It's timing. It's reading the room of your community.
Was there anything to the question from the media today about being? People are saying that you needed someone to take the fall for this, to have a scapegoat in this scenario. Is there anything to that?
I could see how someone felt that way, but here's what I am going to tell you
with regard to the timing.
Because this okay, let me tell you how timing. This is where I'm not sure who, because if you're a police, you don't want to throw your boss under the bus. If you're the boss, you're throwing your police under the bus. So it's weird. But in every market where I've worked, the police own their communication. Like if there is any kind of shooting, whatever, they are the owners of communication. When something really big happens, sometimes the mayors will come on the scene. The mayors will be part of that as this happened. This is a newer politician. So did this newer politician put in some guardrails on what's happening? She's saying she did not.
Right.
That she only stepped in when she heard people had not been informed. So it sounds like there could have been some deficits on the communication side of the police department. But like I said, all this to create this spectacle when that is not what the community is asking for right now. What the community is asking for right now is safety, accountability, and honestly, for many in the black community who have been experiencing some of these ills for quite some time, to get to the root of this and figure out why and let's solve it. But so much energy, so much attention on how many weekends. I'm sorry, guys. The facts don't support the outrage.
Can we continue
they
this?
Just don't.
Can we continue this after the break?
We can. Nate is trying to do traffic, and I'm kind of being the op right now.
I love it, man. I'm in the front row.
I love your take on this. I love your point of view. I have some questions I want to ask you about this scenario because this is the biggest story in our city today, and it should be. So let's go to the real-time traffic test with Nate Connors.
All right, HBO's Hard Knocks has the update. I think everyone who owns a car is on the road this afternoon. We are packed all around the region. Tacoma to Olympia, an hour, 15 minutes, 18 miles of backups between JBLM and Olympia. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeways at 45. Scattered slowing between Renton and Auburn, and then we're bumper to bumper from Algona into Puyallup. Seattle to Federal Way will take you a half hour. You're slow from 405 to 516. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is a half hour. Typical backups here clear between 520 and the VMAC. North 5 heading into Seattle. We are thick from the Michigan curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. 30 to 35 minutes to get through this. South 5 bumper to bumper from North Gateway to I-90, and it's an hour and 5 minutes from Linwood. Southbound 99 is packed from the zoo to the stadiums. Everett to Marysville closing in on 40 minutes, and North 5 is jam-packed from the Everett Mall all the way up to 528 there heading into Marysville. Tune into the premiere episode of the 2026 season Tuesday, August 4th at 6 p.m. featuring your reigning Super Bowl champion, Seattle Seahawks on HBO's Hard Knocks. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event going on right now through Sunday, August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Whether it's help with hormone therapy, weight management, or sexual health, every woman should have access to affordable prescription medication and personalized care that understands the whole woman. Join me, Dr. Doug Lucas, clinical lead of hormone optimization and longevity at LifeMD, along with other leading experts on the podcast, Here's Something Good on Women's Health and Longevity. To learn more, go to lifemd.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
I'm spending my summer in a new Subaru Forester Touring Hybrid from Carter Subaru, and yes, I am officially spoiled. It is so comfortable, and as my first hybrid, the timing couldn't be better with high gas prices. And for a limited time, you can also get a 2026 Subaru Crosstrek starting at 1.9% APR. Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 7/31/26.
When the heat's an 11, cool AC would be heaven. DayandNight.net. Stay cool this summer with a new AC or heat pump from Day and Night. And with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Get a new AC or heat pump now from Day and Night to stay cool this summer. Plus, with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
DayandNight.net.
Tune in to elevate your wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix them.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. A child recovering from surgery and the family struggling to put nutritious food on the table. That's why Seattle Children's, Safeway, and Seahawk Jackson Smith and Jigba launched the Food First Project to fight pediatric food insecurity by providing grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs for families. No barriers, just help. 12s, we need you. Learn more at Safeway.com. Again, that's Safeway.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Seattle police have now released the body camera footage from Sunday's shooting at the Bite of Seattle, showing officers rushing to aid the wounded.
Get out! Get out!
Officers seen providing CPR and taking a 15-year-old away in handcuffs. That boy is so far the only suspect facing charges in the shooting. But Seattle's interim police chief confirms they are looking for multiple people involved. Still, no suspect descriptions. Interim Chief Sales says he believes they are closing in on potential suspects.
But at the same time, we want to make sure that we have it right. We don't want to put someone and take someone's liberties away from them, because we think that is the person. We want to know 100% that that is the person and bring that person into justice.
Police say another 19-year-old suspect died at the scene. Meantime, Seattle's Mayor Katie Wilson further explaining her decision to ask former police chief Sean Barnes to resign. She says there were multiple factors.
The events of Sunday certainly played into it, and I think we've discussed some of the gaps and lapses that happened. And again, my decision here is based on what I believe is going to be best for this department and for the city moving forward.
She says her office is searching with urgency for a permanent police chief. Washington's Attorney General Nick Brown pushing back against proposed utility rate hikes from Puget Sound Energy. KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gashard reports.
Brown's office argues PSC's plan to raise electric rates by 29% and natural gas rates by 20% over the next 3 years is excessive and unreasonable. The Attorney General says customers could save hundreds of millions of dollars if the utility lowers profit margins and shifts some costs to shareholders. The proposal is now under review by the Washington Utilities and Transportation Commission. Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Hotels in downtown Seattle saw mixed results in June, driven by the FIFA World Cup. Room sales and occupancy both fell 7.5% from a year ago, occupancy finishing at 77%. Overall, average daily room rates jumped about 15%. Visit Seattle says the biggest surge came from, of course, the USA-Australia match on June 18th, with Seattle setting a new single-day hotel revenue record. Now to the traffic desk at 3:33. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron, Tacoma to Olympia is a 15-minute commute. 18 miles of scattered backups between JBLM and Olympia. Olympia to Tacoma, 50 minutes. You're slow between Lacey and Nisqually. North 405 and South Center is heavy from the West Valley Highway through the S-curves. South Center to Bellevue has improved a 35-minute drive. Bellevue to Renton's a half hour. You'll actually start to slow in Kirkland near 70th, but it gets thick between 520 and the VMAC. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, just under 20 minutes on 520, closer to 25 minutes now on I-90. North 5, scattered backups from the Michigan curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. It's a half hour to get through downtown. South 5, bumper to bumper from Northgate all the way to I-90. In fact, Linwood to Seattle is going to take you a solid hour, and southbound 99 and alternate choice is packed from the zoo all the way to the stadiums. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Fair skies today. We'll see some clouds, though, start to roll through overnight into tomorrow. A few showers for Saturday and Sunday. Highs will be in the low 70s. Right now, 81 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This hour of the John Curley Show brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. I'm Spike O'Neill. Angela Poe Russell and I are in for John Curley this afternoon. And I know that we were deep in the conversation about...
Yes. Before we get there,
Sure.
Can I just say this music, I don't know what it is, but I was at Jazz Alley last night, and this drum beat, I think it kind of... They were kind of explaining go-go beats. Have you ever heard of that? Yeah, if that kind of had a go-go.
This song is called Whiskey Go-Go, so maybe that's what it is.
See? So listen, I'm a fast learner. That's all I can say. So now you can be on the lookout for go-go. All right, it's Friday. What can I say? So we were having a conversation, and you were saying.
Well, I know that we're going to talk about this subject in great length at 4 o'clock, so I'll try to make this brief, and we'll get on to what else we had scheduled today. You guys did so much time. Ella's filling in today for Joe, and Ella did a wonderful job putting a show sheet together and preparing us with content. The mayor refused to answer what was the reason, what was the cause that you asked Chief Barnes for his resignation. But we highlighted, times out of town, which wasn't enough to fire a guy. But we also talked about the breakdown in communication from the police department, Sunday evening, which the mayor said was a misunderstanding, a miscommunication. Was that a factor in this? Was the fact that Chief Barnes has had 60 different Office of Professional Accountability cases filed against him in the year he's been here? Is that one of the mitigating factors? When the mayor says, I've got a window into the police force that these other individuals, the city council members, don't have. Everybody's so quick to run a bus over the mayor, but I'm thinking maybe that she's got some validity to the claim she's making that led her to make the executive decision that it was time to ask for the chief's resignation.
She might have validity in her own mind or some reason, but is this the right timing and is this a fireable offense? So those are two different issues.
Absolutely.
But you're saying perhaps she might have some information. There might be some
it might not be the wrong move to ask this chief to resign. The timing I get is I don't agree with. The fact that city council learned about it through the media, most members of the city council learned about this demand of resignation through the media. Those are all, again, as you said, missteps by an inexperienced administration.
Story time. So my first job in TV news was in Mobile, Alabama, and I made so many mistakes. It was really bad. Like, I mispronounced words. I remember being on camera live, and I'm talking. I'm at an event. Another time at a crime scene, and I just completely forget what I'm doing. One time, this was the word, like a really bad mistake. We had lost a service member, and I confused their titles.
Okay.
I mean, what a horrific mistake, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, the reason we often, when you're starting a new profession, you start in a smaller town or a smaller place, is because you can make mistakes without, huge consequence.
A city of this size with this many responsibilities of the executive, the inexperience.
So you are picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, but here's the deal. Everyone knew, and to be clear, she led the Transit Writers Union. It's just not you know what I mean? It wasn't like some people who've had to deal with large budgets and they've come from this other office where they had to do this thing like city council, and they had a window into what the mayor deals with. But voters knew this before they got there. So I'll say buckle up. There are going to be some other, hiccups along the way. She seems like a smart person. And so when she makes these mistakes, she likely won't make them again. But I don't think this will be the last because of the fact that this is a newer job, and learning how to navigate relationships with the council and with the community and there is a lot of repair work that will need to happen between her and the council, and frankly, between her and the Black community. And that's just one, because, that wasn't what we were asking for. When I say we, obviously I don't speak for every Black person, and every Black person doesn't think the same. But there was a group that was like, hey, we want cameras in places, and it didn't get everything they wanted on those. Right. And in other agencies are like, we want school resource officers, can't get those. But this issue, You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And so
I do.
it's
I
like,
do.
what is this about? Yeah. Okay. So we have a few more minutes.
Yeah.
All right. So I almost want to like go in a different direction.
Sure.
How do you feel about tiny homes?
I love them.
Okay.
I do. I think they're a tremendous resource and stepping stone. They're a transitional tool to help get people off the streets of our communities. Yes.
Yeah. So Seattle's Capitol Hill neighborhood is getting its first tiny home village for people experiencing homelessness. It's a city-owned property, 44 tiny homes, shared kitchens, restrooms, laundry facilities, and the goal is to provide people living unsheltered with a safe place to stay while they work toward permanent housing. I happen to love these too because, I'm a big believer in, and this is controversial for some. I feel like if you're not willing to go into a shelter, then you should have some kind of consequence. And I know that's controversial because in other words, I don't think that it should be okay to have, an unsanctioned tent city in the middle of a public sidewalk or in a public park.
Mental health crises or drug addictions in public.
I don't know if you remember what happened in Ballard years ago. I want to say it might have been during COVID. And there was a business that had been there for more than 20 years that had to move because for more than a year and a half, a park was shut off due to a tent.
I know exactly where it was.
So people couldn't get to the tent. But the Low Income Housing Institute is going to operate the village. Staff is going to provide 24-hour support, connect residents with healthcare, behavioral health services, employment assistance, all the things. So but here's the thing. This is what I love. People will always say, oh, I'm down with the tiny homes. I love the tiny homes. But as soon as they hear there's one coming to their street,
the NIMBYs
they're like,
show up.
wait, not on my street.
Right, exactly. And the concern, and let me ask you this. In Seattle, there's the low barrier to entry. There's the not requirement to seek sobriety or, whatever it may be. How do you feel about that? Because that's a real point of contention. Most folks are for the transitional housing model, whether it's a permanent building and city-assisted housing or a tiny village home. And they think that in a lot of places, like San Francisco, for example, the mayor of San Francisco required for people to take part in public assistance housing, they had to stop using drugs. They had to do the things that we don't ask of our folks who are on the streets because we're the one step at a time for housing first models that the mayor champions. And that's probably going to be the case in this community in Ballard. There's a residency in Kirkland that was an old La Quinta hotel that is now a facility that offers wraparound services and mental health care and regular health care and sobriety and job training, all these things. What they don't require is sobriety. Does that undermine the efforts?
Listen.
These are big questions.
This is where I can get a little more controversial because there was actually an idea that came from Snohomish County. I'm forgetting the name of the council person that wanted to have an involuntary treatment. If someone refused to get off drugs, for example, they would be committed involuntarily to basically get sober.
Yeah, we can't leave you on the street. If you don't want to get clean, you go to jail and get clean there.
And so I would say I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm also interested in housing first. I just would love to see more evidence that it's working because I've seen our drug crisis worsen.
Absolutely.
But I do agree that you have to get some kind of support to get better. But leaving them on the street, what we're doing now, isn't the answer.
Amen.
Man, time is okay. So listen, we're going to get to traffic, but we're going to talk about the new solution to relationship recession, which has happened. There is this solution, and it's not AI. Because we still need human beings.
Real humans?
We still need human beings like Nate. Your job is secure.
Oh, good. Can I get that in writing?
I got you.
Sure.
I'll
Give me a bar
write
napkin.
that up.
Or anything you want.
All right, Harborstone Credit Union has our busy update. Everett to Marysville is a half hour already. North 5 are jam-packed between the Everett Mall and 528. Northbound 529 packed between Everett and Marysville. In fact, this backup stretches back onto Broadway starting near 10th Street. Bellevue to Everett and Seattle to Everett are both at 55 minutes. 405 solid between Bellevue and Totem Lake. And then from there, it thins out pretty good. I-5, we're solid from 145th and Shoreline to 164th in Mill Creek. South 5 heading into Seattle, bumper to bumper from from North Gateway to I-90. Linwood to Seattle is a 1-hour commute this afternoon. If you're thinking about heading to 99, probably save a little time, but it's packed from the zoo all the way to the stadiums. North 5 is heavy from the Michigan Curve in the downtown. Catch a little break, and then it jams up again from Mercer to the Ship Canal Bridge. Half hour to clear this. The Blue Angels are in the sky right now during their afternoon performance, and I'm seeing drivers slowing down on the I-90 floating bridge. You're not supposed to do that. And it is also jam-packed with pedestrians as well. That's the way to do it. Park on either side of the lake and walk down on the bridge. Open a money market special online with 3.75 annual percentage yield with full access to your money the entire time at harvestone.com/money market. Insured by NCUA. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
You know how some parts of the house don't work? Let me explain. There's that closet that you've got that when you open it up, everything falls out. Or you try to find something, you can't because it's not working. There's too much stuff in there. And how about the garage? I know some people that can't park their car in the garage because there's everything else parked in the garage. You see what I'm saying? There might be some other parts of the house where it's just packed and there's no place to store anything. So maybe you've even gone to renting one of those storage units. Well, that adds up every single month. You can't even remember what's in there. So a better investment to get parts of those house working would be Closets by Design. The consultant comes to your house. They look at the problem. They know that each one of these problems that need to be solved have to be customized. But you don't get a big customized price. You're going to get 40% off plus an additional 15% off in 18 months, 0% financing on approved credit when paid in full. I really became a believer in Closets by Design when they came out to the barn in Cle Elum. You should see the work that they did. My goodness. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's closetsbydesign.com.
Lionel Richie. And Earth, Wind, and Fire. The tour continues. Seattle, you're invited to sing a song all night long. Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind, and Fire together in one magical night you don't want to miss. Climate Pledge Arena, August 3rd. Get tickets starting at $34 at livenation.com.
Jonathan here from DUI Heroes, and did you know that there's a place you can go to find out everything you've ever wanted to know about DUI but were afraid to ask? That's right, DUI Heroes has its own YouTube channel at DUI Heroes where you can find the DUI Q&A, 36 separate videos with free information about what happens during a DUI arrest. Be informed. You can fight back. Give us a call at 1-800-DUI-HERO or find us online at DUIHeroes.com.
DUI Heroes, your DUI defense specialist.
What would you do if the person you love needed round-the-clock care and you had no plan to pay for it?
I was very worried about running out of money.
When Mike's wife was diagnosed with dementia, he turned to LifePoint Law and Elder Law attorney Rajiv Nagayich.
And then he said, "You're going to be okay, but we have to get through these steps." Then I felt a whole lot better going into it. It was still a very difficult process, but in the end, I knew that there was someone there that if I needed help, understood what I'm going through.
LifePoint Law helped Mike protect his wife, his finances, and his future.
They laid it out really well up front. They give you a very in-depth plan. There are so many things that you don't know. I could never have done it on my own.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Federal Way August 1st, Puyallup on the 4th, Tacoma on the 6th, or Bellevue August 8th. Space is limited, so sign up today at LifePointLaw.com. That's LifePointLaw.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
There are 5 things money can do for you: growth, liquidity, cash flow, protection, and tax advantages. Don't miss an opportunity because your current retirement plan only focuses on 2 or 3 of them. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
So let's talk love. Angela Poe Russell. I'm Spike O'Neill in for John Curley. Tell me what you're talking
Let's talk about weird science.
Okay.
So I was traveling. I recently left something at a hotel and decided to call the hotel to find my lost and found item.
I've done that. Yeah.
So I get an agent on the phone, and a few moments in, I realize I think I'm talking to a bot. I am not talking to a person.
I get
but
that
it
too.
sounded like, I'm from the South, and so it sounded like a Southern black woman talking to me. So I asked questions. I said, "Are you a real person?" And instead of just saying, "No, I'm AI," the thing is like, "Well, I'm a live agent. You're talking to a live agent." It was kind of like a politician, right? Instead of answering the question, they deflect and tell you what they can say.
That wasn't my understanding.
But guys, it gets worse. There's a punchline to this story. So because this AI was so good, like I said, it was only something that was slightly off that made me think it was AI.
Okay.
I decided to ask it something that maybe might throw it off.
Okay.
So I said, "What are you having for dinner?" And she's like, "Well, as I think about it, I'm a Southerner, so I'll probably go for some good old fried chicken." And I was so offended. I was like, wow, I got a robotic AI agent in the form of a black woman who's having fried chicken for dinner. I mean, and of course people are like, it's so offensive. And this is the problem. Oh, sorry, go to the other question, then I'll go into my rant.
Quick question. You call the hotel, you get customer service, I have a lost and found item, and they put you online with this receptionist or
I got the AI first. I never got a person. I got an AI.
So the fact that did the voice change as it interacted with you?
No, the voice was the same the whole time.
So is it because of where you called that the receptionist or the representative was an AI African-American woman?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't.
You don't think that was a response
Dallas.
to you?
No, because it was the first thing.
If I called, do I get a black African-American AI woman?
I have to imagine because that's who answered the phone.
Okay.
So they wouldn't have known who I was until,
Okay, so it's regionally
and
dialed
I'd like
in dialect.
to think that people, I've worked really hard to have, I used to have a really thick Southern accent, and I've worked really hard not to have one. So I don't know that my voice that people can tell. I don't know what race I am.
No, you've
I don't know. I mean, you guys let me know if you didn't know what race I was, but seriously, when I called, this was the voice that answered.
And AI said that an African-American Southern woman would have fried chicken for dinner.
Pretty much.
So you know what? Thursdays is Chinese food night. We're having some mushu pork at my house. I love a good plum sauce.
Good God. I mean,
right?
But so
the stereotypical is what made you mad?
Oh my gosh.
Right?
And the racial bias.
Sure.
Often I don't even have to justify this, right? No. It's just kind of ridiculous.
Even I get that.
But here's the point I wanted to make with this, is that AI responds to how it's been programmed.
Yeah.
And if the people programming are basing their info on stereotypes then that's what we're going to get.
Well, AI. Well, it seems to me AI isn't programmed by people. AI, if I understand it correctly, assumes all the information available, algorithms that, or amalgamates that, I should say, and then comprise that into one response. So is it the fault of the programmer of the AI or the collective body of work it has to draw from that gives these stereotypical...
I think it's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Either way,
because
it's
it is
offensive as
ingested.
hell.
It's offensive and a cautionary tale, which is why I'm really excited about talking about that story later regarding love and how moving AI out of the equation. Okay, let's get to Nate in our traffic center.
Okay, thanks, Angela. Everett to Marysville, a half-hour drive today, and North 5 is just bumper to bumper from 526 to 528. Again, northbound 529 also packed between Everett and Marysville. South 5 heading to Seattle, our bumper-to-bumper backup now extends from 130th and Northgate to I-90. Linwood to Seattle is an hour and 5 minutes. You can head over to 99, save a little time, but southbound 99 is bumper-to-bumper as well, coming out of Green Lake down to the stadium. So North 5, scattered backups from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge, half hour to get through downtown. Crossing the lake into Seattle, westbound 90 is packed from North Mercer Way across the lake, and westbound 520, you're clear across the lake, but you're going to jam up at the Arboretum to I-5. Eastbound 90, heavy from I-5 leaving Seattle out to mid-span because drivers are slowing down to check out the Blue Angels, which is highly illegal. On 405 in the South Center, northbound 405, we're bumper to bumper from I-5 through the S-curves, and Bellevue into Renton is solid from 520 down to the VMAC. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Boeing Classic welcomes the world's greatest golf legends to the Pacific Northwest, August 14th through the 16th at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Watch Masters champions and Golf Hall of Famers compete for a $2.3 million purse at the only PGA Tour champion stop in the region. Bring the whole family and make sure to check out the Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com to get yours today.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
It's the best time of the year at Staples, with back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Breaking news. The Justice Department moves to dismiss the criminal case against the ex-Olympian charged with damaging the reflecting pool in front of the Lincoln Memorial. On July 3rd, federal prosecutor for Washington, D.C., Jeanine Pirro, telling a reporter who asked about the pool having already been damaged.
He damaged the pool. He damaged this pool.
But there have been, all these videos out.
Well, good. I'm glad you've got that evidence. Come on in the grand jury. You can testify. Next.
Now today, Pirro tells the court that the Interior Department provided additional documents to her office that the pool damage was the result of botched installation by the contractor. 6 months after Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, the Sheriff's Department asking for the public's help by releasing the ransom notes sent to local media in Tucson, Arizona. The notes apologize over her death while captive. Wall Street's major indexes closed higher, so did crude oil prices. This is ABC News. The FBI is issuing a warning after a suspected Iranian cyber attack on Minnesota water systems. ABC's Matt Rivers in Jordan.
The idea that Iran is behind this really comes at a precarious moment, obviously, as the United States and Iran have started fighting once again in this part of the world. And this would signal an aggression from Iran if this were actually to be proven that that Tehran is behind this attack.
Drastic steps, ABC's Hannah Battah.
California vineyard owners say they've been forced to rip out their grape crops or burn them because of slumping wine sales. They say they've removed thousands of acres, hoping to rebalance the market's oversupply. They blame the slump mostly on a shift in drinking habits. Studies show demand for wine has dropped significantly, especially among younger consumers.
A first, experts say, huge amounts of smelly seaweed are blanketing beaches of the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico, snuffing out marine life. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
New body camera video from police rushing to the scene of Sunday's shooting at Seattle Center. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thank you, Aaron. HBO's Hard Knocks has the update. Hefty backups between Thurston and Snohomish counties this afternoon with very little blocking problems, just volume. Tacoma to Olympia, where we've been hovering at an hour and 10-minute commute all afternoon with 18 miles of scattered backups between JBLM and Olympia. Olympia to Tacoma, we've climbed to 55 minutes. Steady backup between Lacey and Nisqually starting near Pacific Avenue. Both directions of I-5 are heavy through Lakewood. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, a 40-minute commute, which is about average. Seattle to Federal Way, a half hour. And if you're heading into Seattle from the north end, South 5 bumper to bumper from 130th and Northgate all the way to I-90. Linwood to Seattle is an hour and 5 minutes. North 5, scattered backups from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge, 30 minutes to get through this. Tune into the premiere episode of the 2026 season Tuesday, August 4th at 6 p.m., featuring your reigning Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, HBO's Hard Knocks. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granello. Police body camera footage from Sunday's shooting at Seattle Center has just been made public.
In the less than 90 seconds of footage released, you can see and hear the chaos after the shots ring out.
The crowds of people attending the Bite of Seattle running away, and Seattle police officers running toward the danger. As police walk that 15-year-old suspect out of Seattle Center, medics tend to the wounded.
Just apply pressure to it, okay?
Police confirm they are still looking for multiple suspects. And if you have any information, you're asked to call their tip line at 206-233-5000. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
And now the search on for a permanent police chief in Seattle after Mayor Katie Wilson says she accepted the resignation of Sean Barnes. Mayor Wilson says she's looking for someone who can clearly communicate in stressful situations. And
I will be looking for someone who is consistently present in Seattle, keeping travel to an appropriate minimum, and who also ensures that when they are away, there is sufficient SPD leadership in town to guide our city through any emergency.
KIRO News Radio's James Lynch tells us the mayor left many questions surrounding the former police chief unanswered.
She wouldn't talk about the terms of the separation agreement, i.e. how much money the chief receives, and I pressed her again on the reason why she asked for his resignation.
Mayor, you still haven't told the people of Seattle why. Was it him being out of the city too often? Was it taking too long to release information that night? Or was it the kerfuffle with the reporter? Or was it all four?
There were multiple factors, some of which were related to the events of Sunday, but that certainly was not the only thing.
The mayor talked a lot about transparency, but refused to be specific. At City Hall, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Sound Transit says light rail could reach Ballard's Market Street by 2042. Sound Transit board member and King County executive Gurmai Zahalai among those pushing for the project this past May.
The Ballard community deserves light rail.
But that will only happen by 2042 if the agency closes a major funding gap by 2033. Without that money, agency says Ballard service could be pushed all the way to 2060. Your forecast now. Looking at sunshine at this hour and some blue angels in the sky as well. And for tomorrow, we'll see clouds roll through and showers at times for Sunday. High Saturday and Sunday will be in the low 70s. Right now, 80 degrees and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Let's go and happy Friday to you. I hope you are having a decent day. We're grateful that you're spending a little bit of time with us. My name is Angela Poe Russell, along with Spike O'Neill, filling in for John Curley today. One thing we have enjoyed so much during the show is hearing from you, hearing your perspective. So feel free to text us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. 888-973-5476. Good afternoon to you, Spike. It has been a pleasure to work with you so far.
Thanks. So far, so good.
It's ridiculous.
I love working with you.
Like time just flies.
Oh,
okay,
wonderful.
The big news from today is that Seattle's mayor, Katie Wilson, introduced us to our new interim police chief, Andre Sales. So he will be serving as our interim chief since Chief Sean Barnes is out. And she announced that a search will begin. We will have a process. We'll have community input. And that's what's happening. So, Spike, one thing I wanted to talk to you about is because this conflict with the mayor and the police chief has taken up so much real estate in the news, it's been difficult to focus on other aspects of this tragedy that happened on Sunday. And some would argue what should be the focus, what should be the center of all of this, that we've lost sight of the important thing. I saw a video on Instagram today, a couple from several people who are saying, guys, we just had a shooting that was likely gang related and people died and like all of these things. And we just seem to have lost track of that. Well, so I want to use this segment to talk about some of those things. But go ahead.
Well, I think the fact that we haven't talked about is why we're talking about the other story. This is a gang crime. It took them 2 days to even announce it was a gang shooting. They didn't want to label that initially as a gang shooting. We found out today that there may be as many as 5 guns involved in this. Initially, there were 3 victims of shootings from Sunday night and 2 guns recovered. The next day, during cleanup of the post-melee at the Seattle Center by vendors, they found a 3rd gun. Then a day later, we find out that the The bullets that took the lives of the 3 involved at the center aren't from any of the guns that police have in their possession. The ghost gun the 15-year-old was holding didn't fire the bullets that struck the victims who perished or the victims who were injured and then released from hospital. The gun they found in the somewhere stashed in the center, the 3rd gun found, wasn't the gun that took these lives. So we should be talking about the safety of the community, the gang members that are involved, the 15-year-old that is in custody. He didn't shoot the bullets that killed folks. And it's been reported by witnesses to the Seattle Police Department. Former Chief Barnes said they had over 80 tips as of yesterday that gave conflicting reports from eyewitness reports. But one thing that was consistent was the 15-year-old didn't fire the first shots of the day of that gunfight. So he, at worst, could be could have at least have a self-defense argument to be made in court and as a juvenile.
I know. I was calling your bluff on that and was like, Spike, there's no way. Because, we've long debated the state legislature's change about gun possession and juveniles and how they can't get over 30 days. But once the gun is used in something, that's a very different thing. What you're arguing is that even though, because his bullet was not used to actually hit a victim, you're arguing he could fall into this category and be released before 30 days.
Well, I'm not arguing for that. What I'm saying is,
but I'm saying you're saying that could happen.
Yeah, well, if as a minor with his second gun involved offense, and from what I understand of the dynamics of juvenile law, you can have up to 5 gun-related offenses before you have genuine consequence, what we feel is appropriate consequence for a minor. This juvenile, if it's deemed, in fact, that it wasn't
used, like you didn't use the gun.
And it was used in self-defense. This was used in self-defense.
Oh, I'm talking about the 5 that you're counting for the law. I'm just clarifying that for people.
I don't have a complete enough understanding of juvenile law. But this kid could end up walking with just 30 days in jail for using a gun for the second time in a crime where he was using in self-defense, an illegal weapon, an automatic weapon in a public setting. These are the conversations we should be having about youth crime, about gang crime.
Yes.
And we haven't talked about the Seattle Center itself. You have a story about the vendors involved.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. I mean, there was a dad who was killed, and there's been little about him and the impact on his family.
3 children.
Yes, absolutely.
56-year-old woman who just moved to Seattle to be with her daughter and son-in-law.
Yes.
That family has lost their matriarch.
Right. That has been the side effect of putting all the focus on the political spectacle, if you will. But I do want to talk about the food vendors because they are now wondering, will they be reimbursed? Will they be compensated? They had to spend $3,000 on a permit to set up there. That's a lot of money, right? So what happened, as I understand it, is they had to leave the area, obviously,
right. The area was cleared because
they had to clear the area,
yes.
And they were told they would come back at a certain time. So meanwhile, a lot of them had stocked up food, perishable food, so that's gone. Some of them came back and their money was gone. Registers were gone.
Stands have been robbed.
Yeah, furniture. Someone had a brand new air fryer stolen. All these things. One woman said that she's the co-owner of a Thai restaurant, EJ Pak Moor, and she says she lost $10,000 worth of perishables.
So, what's going to happen for these folks? And that's a question that's worth having because these are businesses that contribute to this community, that contribute to these events, these public events. Bite of Seattle is one of the largest public events we have all year long. Mm-hmm. These vendors come in, they pay a high price with the permitting to be there, the space in the center. They need health licenses for operation. They need fire insurance permits to take part in Bite of Seattle because so much cooking is going on. There was a story last week in the news we covered about how expensive it is to be a vendor at an event in Seattle. Then you find that you've lost customers because understand you're forced to leave the center during an active shooter situation. You can't be allowed back in because the police don't have Seattle Center secured. By the time vendors are allowed back in, looters have already made their way into the center.
That's what's wild about it. It's like they couldn't go in, but the looters somehow made it in.
Well, because laws apply only to those who obey the laws. That's common in everything we look at in our society these days.
That part.
Vendors said, okay, don't come back in until we know it's safe. Looters didn't care about whether it was safe or not. They came in, they stole equipment, they stole cash, they destroyed property. And now these vendors, the Bite of Seattle is orchestrated, if I'm not mistaken, by an out-of-state company that's based out of California.
It's called Foodie Land.
Exactly. That is
Foodie Land.
And I'm sure they are licensed and bonded. You can't be this kind of an operation that hosts major events because they solicit the vendors. They, lease out the spaces. They make sure all permitting is required. They take accountability for a successful event and all the elements that are required to do that at Seattle Center. If I'm a vendor, I'm assuming it's not on the city of Seattle. I was dealing with Foodie from down in California. They're licensed, they're bonded. I'm sure they are. That's who's going to make me whole as a vendor.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But how long can that take?
Right. It's been almost a week since the incident, and the vendors say, this is according to the Seattle Times, that they have not heard anything from Foodie Land. The Seattle Times did reach out to Foodie Land, and they said the Bite of Seattle team is evaluating ways to support vendors while continuing to fully cooperate with law enforcement on the active investigation. But I mean, these are the kinds of things that media can put pressure on. That when we call attention to this, pay attention to the story, like stuff happens, just like it did with the Chief Barnes situation.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like largely driven by a couple of reporters that were like, well, why about these trips and why about, this trip? But I don't know that, like, we found it interesting and it was tea, but I don't know that the community members that were affected or have been affected by violence, that was their number one thing.
With regard to the
with regards to focusing, making the chief thing,
I
the
understand.
travel, a spectacle.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I mean,
sorry for the confusion.
No, what we want to know as a community is, are we safe? Do we know everything we need to know as a community about who's still at large? What actually took place? Mistakes were made clearly because of all the kerfuffle this week.
Mm-hmm.
Then are we learning from those mistakes? Are we putting a new system in place that will no longer will have those won't happen anymore?
Yeah.
And with regard to Foodie, I mean, look, the city of Seattle trusted this company to run this event, to do this event. It behooves the city of Seattle to step in with regard to helping their vendors get action from this, and with the media as well. We can put pressure on these guys. You're a big company. You've got you make a lot of money doing what you do, or you wouldn't be doing what you do. You're in business to make money, obviously.
Yeah.
And if you're a company that abides by the rules, you've got insurance, you're bonded, all these things. These vendors need to be made whole. There were stories of vendors who say they won't be back.
Yes. A couple have said they won't be coming back. Yeah. No, that's a real thing. Okay, something I'm really excited about, and we're making a little history tomorrow. For the first time in 70 years, we are going to have a women's baseball league in our country. Now, Washington doesn't have a team yet, but we do have, let me see where the teams are. New York Heights, the San Francisco Firebells, Los Angeles Queens, and Boston Hunters. Now, you may remember last year there was a women's professional softball league that actually we had some teams come through here last summer. That was women's softball, professional.
Yeah.
This is baseball, like League of Their Own, the movie.
Yeah.
So it's called the Women's Professional Baseball League, the WPBL. The inaugural season kicks off tomorrow with those teams: New York, San Francisco, LA, Boston. And let's see, the teams are managed by MLB stars Matt Williams. I don't know if you know who that is. Okay. Yeah. And get this. That says the 2014 Manager of the Year for the Washington Nationals is managing San Francisco. So it's kind of cool. Like, I love seeing new sports roll out for women, and I hope that they're well supported.
I think the market is there.
But you're like, maybe.
No, well, here's the thing. If it's a good product, people will come.
Yes.
That's what it is. And you have to put things in perspective. It's a fun experience. The Seattle Storm, one of the most successful WNBA franchises, having a down year this year, of course. But it's a tremendously successful franchise because we had the likes of Sue Bird. We had these tremendous Hall of Fame, WNBA Hall of Fame players come through town. Seattle's got a professional women's hockey team, which started last year.
Which is wonderful.
Right. And so the market is there for professional women's sports. I love it. Professional women's soccer has enjoyed a tremendous amount of success in America. Seattle, with the Reign, has one of the leading women's professional soccer teams in America. But all that stems from, if I may, success on the pitch, if you will, with regard to soccer. When the women won the Soccer World Cup and then won second and third Soccer World Cups, the women, America likes a winner.
We do like winners.
And if it's a good product, people will come out, whether they're men or women playing. I've been to the Women's Professional Hockey League game, the Torrent.
How was that?
It was phenomenal.
What was the vibe?
They do a phenomenal job in presentation, and I say that because the Storm do the same.
The dancers.
They make sure the game experience. The competition is good. Even a 6-24 team now, the Storm, who have dropped 7 straight, but they've got numerous championships under their belt, right? It's a great game experience. It's good competition. The product is enjoyable. It's family friendly. The hockey experience is the same way. I'm assuming the baseball experience will be the same. The soccer is great. We got women's sports delivers for their audience, and there's a niche audience for women's sport. Mostly it's women in attendance. I get it. It's families. It's parents with daughters. It's when you have a daughter who's an athlete and you want to inspire that athlete, and you can go see women competing in baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever it might be. That's the representation is so great.
Yes. And I just want to make the case that it's not always on us, but the systems that are the gatekeepers for these things being successful. And I'm going to give you a case in point. So several years ago, when the Storm was making their run to be a champion, I wanted to buy Storm gear. And sometimes you can't always, like if you don't go to all the games, but you want to be able to buy the merch, right?
Yeah.
So I go to a really popular sports store and I find Seahawks gear, I find Mariners gear, and I can't find any gear for the Storm. And I'm thinking, well, how are they able to progress and become more successful if we can't get merch into, and I say regular spaces or spaces out in the wild where you'd normally find sports stuff.
Yeah.
And you need the media deals. And so I really do feel like if the systems around us, the businesses, the media companies jump on it, then it drives demand. I'll give you an example. So for years, media companies, local ones, would only cover boys Friday night football, right? Friday night football, that's it.
Right.
Well, what if they started covering, hey, we're covering Thursday night women's soccer. We're covering, Wednesday night girls high school basketball. I understand they don't always have the resources for all of them.
Right.
But if you've been doing boys high school football for the past 30 years, maybe if you built because what happened, and you know what? Let me just tell you this. My daughter's old high school, Lakeside, did a great job at that. So for a women's soccer game, they would create a jamboree type environment.
Sure.
They would bring the food trucks, they'd bring the band.
It's like experience. Yes.
Right. So my point is sometimes if you kind of invest in those things, people will come.
If you build it, they will come.
As opposed to making us beg and then saying, well, it's just not that popular. Well, we're trying to buy the merch.
Well, it's always about money. I mean, businesses are business, whether they're sports businesses or any other business. It's about money.
Or just stuck to doing things the old way.
Well, the reason the WNBA works and has found their footing, the NBA footed the bill for those guys for a long time. They lost money for quite a while until they were able to build up a fan base and build a reputation for a quality product. And enough people were able to experience that. And they got a TV deal finally out of that. You need big name stars like Caitlin Collins who comes on board, and the WNBA doubles their TV numbers with one, marquee player who's a story into herself, all these different things. So, I mean...
But we needed them to carry the game. Because I remember a time when getting them to carry the games, right?
Well, without the NBA's backing, the WNBA would not have made it. The Women's Professional Hockey League, I'm hoping that the NHL sees that same, success story that the NBA put out there. And they say, look, let's at least help these athletes out until they can find their footing.
I love it when men support women. I love it when we support each other, period. And I'll never forget when several years ago, the WNBA was up for a negotiation with their union, the players with the union. And I believe it was Isaiah Thomas. Was it Isaiah Thomas who came out and did like an op-ed supporting the female players?
Yeah.
And so I just think it's great when we show up for each other and advocate for interests outside of your own, because you never know when you're going to be that person that is in trouble and you're wishing someone would speak up for you.
Well, absolutely. And with regard to, men standing up for women, right? It wasn't that long ago that women's sports needed Title IX, needed federal intervention to make sure that female athletes got fair representation in scholastic sports, high school and colleges particularly, because that's where the money is made. And the football team makes X amount of money for the university that the university needs to spend equally on female and male athletes. That's recognition of equality among athletes, not just based on I'm just kind of talking out both sides of my mouth. It's got to make money first in the pro arena, But when you represent people equally and give people an equal opportunity to be a star, to be successful, to build an audience, women can build an audience.
You throw something out there that we could debate, but we're out of time.
Okay.
There was more to. No, I agree with most of what it just. There was a lot still to chew on there. So, but talking to you is always like that.
Thanks.
Thank you all for listening. There's still a lot more to come up on the John Curley Show. For now, we're going to go to Nate in the traffic center.
All right, thanks, Angela. This report brought to you by your KIRO Newsradio app. Tacoma to Olympia, an hour and 10-minute commute with 18 miles of scattered backups between JBLM and Olympia. Coming the other way, Olympia to Tacoma, just under an hour and 55 minutes. Pretty steady backup between Lacey and Nisqually, starting near Pacific Avenue. Out toward Gig Harbor, westbound 16, you're packed from the Narrows up to Olympic Drive. Federal Way to Tacoma, 20 minutes, but you're slow from South 320th all the way down to the T-Dome. North 5 slows from Fife up to State Route 18. In South Center, northbound 405, we are struggling coming out 55 through the Renton S-curve. South Center to Bellevue, a 35-minute drive. Coming the other way, Bellevue to South Center, 40 minutes. South 405 actually starts to slow back at Northeast 70th in Kirkland, but it gets real thick at 520 down to 112th. Another thick backup in South Center. And crossing the lake between Bellevue and Seattle, right around a half-hour commute on both of our bridge routes. Text app APP to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Boytine from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. A child recovering from surgery and the family struggling to put nutritious food on the table. That's why Seattle Children's, Safeway, and Seahawk, Jackson Smith and Jigba launched the Food First Project to fight pediatric food insecurity by providing grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs for families. No barriers, just help. 12s, we need you. Learn more at Safeway.com. Again, that's Safeway.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
The Boeing Classic welcomes the world's greatest golf legends to the Pacific Northwest, August 14th through the 16th at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Watch Masters champions and Golf Hall of Famers compete for a $2.3 million purse at the only PGA Tour champion stop in the region. Bring the whole family and make sure to check out the Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com to get yours today.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age.
making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Whether it's help with hormone therapy, weight management, or sexual health, every woman should have access to affordable prescription medication and personalized care that understands the whole woman. Join me, Dr. Doug Lucas, clinical lead of hormone optimization and longevity at LifeMD, along with other leading experts on the podcast, Here's Something Good on Women's Health and Longevity. To learn more, go to lifemd.com.
Hi, how can I help?
Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager.
I see.
Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning?
Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
I feel better already.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Seattle's mayor says multiple factors led to the resignation of the city's former police chief, Sean Barnes.
I asked him to resign.
Now, Wilson says she's looking for a new chief who's consistently present in Seattle. She also wants one who can navigate criticism and, in her words, communicate in high-stress situations.
I am making what I firmly believe is the right decision at the right time.
Many city council members disagree with her decision. Mayor Wilson says she respects their opinion, but is confident they'll come together to appoint the next police chief. If you booked a hotel online in the past couple of years, you may be getting some money back.
More than 12,000 Washington consumers will get refund checks after the state attorney general settled with online hotel booking companies for $750,000. The AG's office says sites including hotelrates.com, Room 77, Hotel Guides, and Book Online used a pre-checked box in tiny gray text to sneak a refund protection fee onto reservations that were made from November of 2023 through March of 2025. Those refund checks should go out within about 90 days. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Since 1985, it has rained only once on August 1st in Seattle. Could happen again tomorrow. Scott Sistek with the Emerald City Weather Blog tells Seattle's Morning News.
The odds for the rain coming on Saturday were astronomically low, or maybe I don't know, astronomically, but pretty low, less than 10%. But I think, sometimes it has to rain on the driest day of the year.
The weather could affect the Blue Angels at Seafair. If it's too cloudy, they'll have to fly at lower altitudes to stay under the clouds. Meantime, extreme fire danger is coming to central and eastern Washington this weekend. Forecasters say high winds, extreme heat, and bone-dry conditions could cause existing fires to grow significantly. In Okanagan County, the Kaiser Canyon fire has already scorched about 200 square miles. That's more than the city of Seattle. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 4:32. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron, Tacoma to Olympia. We're struggling in an hour and 10 minutes with 18 miles of scattered backups between JBLM and Olympia. Olympia to Tacoma is just under an hour, 55 minutes. Renton to Puyallup southbound on 167, 40 minutes, which isn't bad. In fact, the north end looking pretty good. It's south of State Route 18 where it slows all the way into Puyallup. Seattle to Federal Way is pretty much cleared out, down to just a 25-minute drive. North 405 struggling from I-5 and South Center through the Renton S-curves. South Center to Bellevue, 35 minutes. North 5 in Seattle, we're thick from Albro now up to the Ship Canal Bridge. Half hour to get through all this. South 5 jams up near 130th and Northgate all the way to I-90. 1 hour from Linwood and Everett to Marysville, a 35-minute drive. You're bumper to bumper from the Everett Mall all the way to 528 in Marysville. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast, again, it's going to be a bit breezy for tomorrow. Just some light rain showers potentially for Saturday. But again, that critical fire weather tomorrow east of the Cascades. It'll be a bit drier for Sunday, but still cool. Highs will be in the low 70s both days. Right now, 80 degrees and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Today is KIRO 7 Cares Christmas in July one-day toy drive. Help KIRO 7 TV get a jump start on the holiday toy donations to benefit the Salvation Army and Toys for Tots all day until 6:30 p.m. Come say hi to the KIRO 7 news team and some very special guests. Donate a new unwrapped toy at the Auburn Friendmeyer today until 6:30 p.m. If you can't get there, go online at KIRO7.com/July.
This hour brought to you by Bucky's Auto Repair. All right, welcome back to the John Curley Show. I'm Angela Poe Russell, along with the Spike O'Neill, the hardest working man at KIRO Radio.
Thank you very much. Kind of you.
I enjoy spending. I cannot believe, I just have so much fun talking to you.
Thank you. Likewise.
I brought this topic to our producer because I am intrigued by it. For years, we have been talking about dating apps. Well, apparently, the dating app is on the decline. People are ditching the dating app. And the solution, according to this article...
Liquor?
No.
That's the old way to do it. You went to a bar, you had some drinks, and you met people, right?
The solution is actually not tech related.
Okay.
So we're kind of taking tech out of... And apparently it is the solution to what's being called the relationship recession. Did you know we were in a relationship recession?
I did know that there has been a decline percentage-wise in the number of people that feel like they need to be in a relationship. And now it's officially, if there's so many months of declining relationship numbers, give us a relationship recession.
Apparently it has to do with the age that people are getting married. So they're waiting until later.
Okay.
Fewer people are, it's all the things you would imagine. People are struggling struggling to find the connection. And so we thought dating apps were going to help because you can find people all over the world, you know, people you may not normally meet out and about, and somehow it made it more difficult. So 2026 has been claimed by some to be the year of analog, where we are going to reclaim our humanness. A new report from KUOW says people are burned out from the apps, and it's creating a boom of old-fashioned matchmaking. Yep, matchmakers say business has been growing for years, and they are seeing younger clients in their 20s and 30s looking for help. Some of them work in tech, they work at Boeing, all across the spectrum. And according to this article, which gives a little context, because it says Seattle is kind of a challenging space for dating. It says more than a quarter of Seattle's adults live alone, the 5th highest rate of any city in the U.S.
Wow.
And about half of the men living in Seattle have never been married.
Is that the tech pro sector moving to town? Is that real? I'm not, seriously. Right?
I'm not sure, but that'd be a guess. So a couple of things I'll throw out at you. Some of the matchmaking services are what you might think, right? Either you get in a database, they match you with someone.
Okay.
Another one is the live event. You've heard of speed dating. That's been around.
Sure.
But now there's something called Pitch a Friend. Do you know what Pitch a Friend is?
If the name bears true, it's like, have I got a guy for you? Right?
Yeah. So you go to an event, and let's say you and I are friends, and you give a presentation about me to the audience. Let me tell you about Angela.
Oh,
she
I
likes
like this.
to do
This
this,
is
she likes
great.
to do that. So then it's someone else bragging on you that knows you. And
someone's who likes you, cares for you, wants you happy, can do a great job selling you. This is great.
As opposed to, I know, I love it too.
Are they taking investors? Because they're going to do great.
Yeah, they even give PowerPoint presentations with it too. So you're pitched with the PowerPoint presentation.
I wish I knew more single people. I'd help them out.
Right? You were like, hey, I want to pitch a friend.
Great wing. This is the job of a wingman. This is what a wingman did, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So I guess my question for you is, are you feeling like you want to be more analog-y these days? And I just made up that word. But
no. I get it.
Are you
totally
feeling
get it.
like maybe we've gone too far in some areas on tech, and I really want to, like for me, I think I'm reclaiming magazines.
Okay. No, I totally feel that way. And I'm a tough ask on this because I'm older. I think I'm the oldest guy working in this
So
building.
you're saying you never went to tech? Is that?
I know. I was already so entrenched in my analogism that tech, my tech expertise, if not competency, is minimal.
Okay.
I learned the least amount I could and get away with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's where I'm at. So I'm the wrong guy to ask, but I think there is a revolt against technology from an interactive, a personal interactive perspective. People, you're not alone about the magazines. People who's like, touch grass. Have you heard the term grounding?
Yes, where
people
outside.
Go outside, you take your shoes off and touch the earth. People say, go touch grass. And it's we don't need more. Schools, the successful school programs that are seeing increases in learnings and test scores and proficiency are the folks that are taking tablets out of kids' hands and putting books back in their hands.
Yeah.
And limiting screen time in schools. And that's a rarity because oftentimes funding in schools relies on adherence to these tech programs that are being instituted to help become more efficient and make your education dollar go further. But it's having a detrimental effect. Yes, absolutely. I want my analogism to.
Yeah.
I'm reclaiming it.
So Ella, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I kind of do. But what's your reaction to this story? You seem a lot younger than me, so this might be your delegation.
You think? I got kids older than her.
Well,
go on.
Okay. Honestly, I love it. I think it is it's so important right now. I feel like a lot of young people who are single do feel the weight of the dating apps. It's overused. It starts to become this weird pattern. No one's actually making connections. It just feels like you're swiping through people and not, getting to know anyone. And it's like this turnover.
But why is it so hard? Because it seems like it should be easy because you're
think, right?
Great person.
Yeah. I think people are really craving connection. I think that's why these sorts of events and really putting yourself out there too. I think when you're behind a screen, it's so much easier to ghost somebody or, I don't know, meet them once and then just never talk to them again. These events, I feel like you're really putting yourself out there. So there's this extra level of pressure and I don't know. And I love the friend one too, because then it's you're not doing it alone.
Yes.
That's great.
You know what my theory on why the apps didn't work? I think it made us...
People never look like their picture?
I think it made us too superficial.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I'll give you an example.
Yes.
Because if you were to just meet someone in person, you wouldn't... Because, okay, I just have to call myself out. So I went on a dating app. This was before I got remarried. And so it lets you put in things like, well, what height do you prefer? What income do you prefer?
Right.
So all of a sudden, people start making these things, whereas if you met a person in person, you really would go off. You would obviously judge whether there's an attraction, but there wouldn't be that kind of judgment. You would take the time to get to know them before finding out, if they make this or make that, and how tall are you again? You're taking them in as a full 3-dimensional person.
And there's a lot more to a person than how they look.
Yes.
Or what they make.
Yes.
I'll give you, this might not be the right example, but Billy Crystal, right? Been married for almost 50 years, I believe. Brilliantly funny man, heart of gold, compassionate, empathetic. I think Billy Crystal would do on a dating app. Swipe.
Oh.
Swipe.
Wow.
Swipe. I don't mean to be pejorative of Billy Crystal, but that applies to so many people.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman were married for a long, long time because they just got each other. They shared a soul. They made each other laugh. They had qualities that they liked. Danny DeVito is maybe the least attractive person on the face of the green earth. And I
They're
love
not
the
married,
guy.
though.
Not anymore. For a long time. I know. It didn't. Nothing lasts forever there. Romeo.
Wow. Spike, you're on a roll here, man.
You know what I'm saying, though? To your point about superficiality.
Yes. Yeah. And here's the other
There's so much more to people.
And one other reason why I think it didn't work. Ella, call me if you think I'm wrong. But I feel like when you have the swiping thing, if a person does one thing that you don't like, or there's something in their, there are other people out there. I can just swipe to someone else. I can, this idea of just, there's plenty of people that are lining up, right? And it's all, I don't know. Does that resonate?
It totally does.
Okay.
Yes.
I have some insight sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
I have another dating app story. Woof, boy, this is a doozy. Maybe I'll reveal it later.
Sure.
It's kind of crazy.
Oh, that's a tease.
Tease, baby. I'm all ears. I'm all ears. We got enough place to go another hour plus of the show to get there.
Yeah, but folks are trying to get some places. They're on the road, so we want to go to Nate so we can get some insights on what's happening.
All right, Angela. Well, you're not going to get anywhere quick, that's for sure. This report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. North 5 through Seattle, it is thick from Albro all the way to the Ship Canal Bridge. Sure, you got a little breathing room through the heart of downtown, but plan on a half hour to get through downtown. South 5 is jam-packed from 130th and Northgate all the way to I-90, 1 hour from Linwood. You can head over to 99. Just know it is bumper to bumper from the zoo down to the stadiums, where your Mariners have a 7:10 game tonight. Westbound 90 is packed across Mercer Island to the lake. Eastbound 90 is thick from I-5 to mid-span, and this is because drivers are slowing on the bridge to check out the Blue Angels, who are just now wrapping up this afternoon's air show. Bellevue to South Center, 45 minutes. You're packed from 520 to the VMAC. North 405 is thick from South Center through the Renton S-curves, 40 minutes between South Center and Bellevue. And eastbound 512 at Portland Avenue down there heading into Puyallup, we've got a crash currently blocking all eastbound lanes. Drivers are being detoured off at Portland Avenue. Text app to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good night's sleep.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Jason Rance here. If your water heater is getting older, leaking, or running out of hot water, CM Heating has an affordable solution. Get a new gas or electric water heater installed starting at just $44.99 a month. With CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program, you'll get lifetime repairs and maintenance at no extra charge. Parts and labor covered for life. Plus, same-day installation is available in many cases. Schedule your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
Did you know that 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state? I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide financial support for breast and gynecologic cancer patients in our community. Join us at Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel in Woodinville for an unforgettable afternoon of inspiration. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd at nwhopeandhealing.org. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. KIRO Newsradio is giving you a shot at 4 tickets to see the Seahawks in their preseason home opener, Saturday, August 15th.
To enter, open the KIRO Newsradio app or visit mynorthwest.com/win for details.
You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances.
Enter daily from July 28th through August 3rd.
Full details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win.
That's mynorthwest.com/win.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Men at Work.
I love this song. Love this.
82, I believe, right?
Okay, that's good. Look at you. And listen, I love that you're here with us listening to the John Curley Show. I'm Angela, along with Spike. And we were talking about the rise in matchmaking services, in-person analog dating events, because people are trying to get away from dating apps. And we were talking about the challenges of dating apps. And so many people have had successful relationships on apps. That was not my story.
My daughter met her husband
on a
dating app. It's crazy because they went to the same high school. He was a senior when my daughter was a junior.
Oh, but the app brought them.
But the app brought them together. And they went out, and as they started talking, they found out how much they had in common, how much they enjoyed each other's company. Now they've been married a year.
I love that. Yeah, mine was a hot mess. So
a dating app experience?
Oh gosh, yeah. So I met this guy on the app. He seemed normal as the day is long. We started out talking on the phone. So we had about 4 phone conversations. Seemed, again, like things are normal. So we make plans to have a first date. A day before the first date, I get a notification from the dating app that he has been removed from my account. And they would not tell me why. I know. But
now, so that was it. That's the last of it ever?
Oh, I'm a journalist, Spike. Come on. You know I didn't let it go.
Good. I'm glad. Good for you. I'm so proud of you right now.
You know I did not let it go. But yeah, they wouldn't tell me anything. So he had given me his name. So I just went from there and started researching. And he had a recent record. And the record...
Like a recording? He was a recording artist?
No, like a record, like a rap sheet.
Okay.
For soliciting a minor.
No.
Yes.
And he's on a dating app. How do you...
And I was a day from meeting him in person. And I had young kids at the time. Like, I was a day from meeting. That was the end of it for me.
So
I shut it down.
Wow. Okay. So you found out did you ever find out why he was removed from the app? Did you contact them?
I think they found out about this record.
They got wind of this.
I think
pulled him from their service.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's what I think happened.
How did he get on their service to begin with? Is what I want to know.
Well,
right?
I don't know. Ella, have you ever used those? Like, do they require you to report your criminal? I can't imagine they would require you to report.
I've never seen that. I mean, maybe certain ones do, but I think it's so many people catfish on dating apps. Like, I would not be surprised. Like, they let anyone on, Like, you really don't have to prove anything.
Catfish is just a misrepresentation of you, right?
Yeah, totally. Right? Like, whether it's like you're editing your own photos or you're using someone else's photos. Fake name, like so much fake information,
Yeah, and he was a dad, like a dad of 4, and so he wasn't the type of person that you would look and have this, and we know there is no look, right? But it's human nature that we're like, oh, they seem normal, talk normal, but it was just one of those cautionary tales.
Thank goodness.
So what I love about the analog is that you do have a more organic way of getting to know someone out in the wild.
That's a cool ankle bracelet you got on. What's that? Why is it blinking? Tell me more. Yeah, you don't find that out on an app. They don't share that on an app, right? What do you mean you can't? What do you mean you can't leave the neighborhood? What do you mean we can't go away for the weekend? Not allowed to leave. Yeah, the camping site is in state. Why is that important to you? You can't leave the state. Oh,
Nate, help.
I feel your pain, Angie. Parkland, eastbound 512 at Portland Avenue. We've got a collision blocking the left lane. We opened up a lane, but you kind of got to squeeze by this crash scene. Regardless, you're backed up to I-5. So if you can avoid this route for a little bit, might be a good idea. Tacoma to Olympia, though, is approved to 55 minutes. The first time this drive has been under an hour since noon. So we're still dealing with scattered backups between JBLM and Olympia, starting near Berkeley Avenue. Going the other way, Olympia to Tacoma, 55 minutes. 7 miles of backups between Lacey and Nisqually, starting near Martin Way. Both directions of I-5 are heavy between Fife and State Route 18. Here in Seattle, North 5 is solid from Albro up to the Ship Canal Bridge. Half hour to get you through this. South 5 jam-packed from 130th and Northgate to I-90. It's a 1-hour drive from Linwood into downtown Seattle. Everett to Marysville, 35 minutes. North 5 jam-packed from 526 to 528. And northbound 529 is also bumper to bumper between Everett and Marysville. What you notice between all these backups is nothing blocking. It's just sheer volume out there. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Our founders believed that freedom wasn't just a word. It was a way of life. The freedom to move forward, the freedom to pursue what matters most, the freedom to live fully. But aging has a way of taking those freedoms away. That's why there's Longevity Medical Clinic. John Curley here. My best move was becoming a patient of Longevity Medical Clinic years ago, and second best move, getting my wife Nicole to join me this year. Stop guessing and start working with a doctor who knows your goals and get personalized care designed around you, not the average patient. Discover what's holding you back and what can help you thrive with longevity. Aging is natural, but some of the effects are undesirable, and you don't want to have to just accept it. So this year, as we celebrate 250 years of freedom, ask yourself a simple question. Are you living with the freedom you deserve? Get real answers about your health and get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out more at lmclinic.com.
Santana, Oneness Tour 2026. The power, the energy. Come celebrate your favorite hits from Woodstock to Supernatural and beyond. With very special guest, the Doobie Brothers. August 6th, White River Amphitheater. On sale now at livenation.com. Santana and Doobie Brothers, Oneness Tour 2026.
G and Ursula.
Contrary to what y'all might believe, sometimes on the G and Ursula show, G forgets to show up.
9 to noon.
I count on all of you listening to carry me through.
Subscribe to the G and Ursula show on YouTube and watch live or later.
Clutter happens. Let Closets by Design save the day. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Hey, I want to introduce you guys to a brand new sponsor to the show. I'm very excited to welcome Phil Mitchell from Sunset Auto Family. Welcome to the show, Phil.
Hey, thanks, Jake. Nice to be here.
It's so great to have you here. I want to jump right into something that you guys offer that is such a benefit to anybody out there looking for a vehicle. You guys have 48-hour used vehicle exchange. Tell me a little bit about how that works.
Well, basically, we want to take the fear out of buying a pre-owned vehicle. So we give you 48 hours. You take the car home, you decide if you like it. And if you like it, you keep it. If you don't, you bring it back, and we try to find you something you do like.
All right. So let's say a scenario. I see something I love. I'm worried that it's not going to be there next time. So I jump on it real fast. And then I get it home to my garage, and it doesn't fit. I can bring it back?
You can bring it back, and we'll find you something that does fit. It just takes all the fear out of it. There's no more guilty feelings. You don't have to be stuck with it for 5 years or 10 years. You bring it back, we find you something that works.
Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
50 legends. One unforgettable night. Join the Mariners at T-Mobile Park on Saturday, August 8th for 50 season celebration night presented by Daktronics.
A perfect game by a Seattle Mariner. It was done by the King.
Arrive early to witness an epic pregame ceremony featuring the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled.
Junior with a 2-run home run. Everybody is going bonkers.
Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. An unprecedented border crisis has erupted in Spanish territory. About 60,000 migrants entered the area from Morocco, with at least 57 of them dying during their attempt to cross. Tens of thousands have reportedly already returned. Some are reluctant to leave.
I want to, but your people don't want us.
Spain sending in military platoons and a Navy vessel to restore order. The Justice Department has moved to dismiss the criminal case against David Hearn, the ex-Olympian charged with damaging the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro now saying that additional documents provided indicate that the peeling liner was the result of flawed installation by the contractor. Two U.S. officials say President Trump is weighing a round of intense strikes on energy targets in Iran that could begin as soon as this weekend. And another source says the potential strikes had been discussed with Israeli officials. This is ABC News. A man has been charged with manslaughter months after he allegedly shot and killed his neighbor, mistaking him for a bear, according to an arrest affidavit. ABC's Chuck Sievertson.
Ariel Rodriguez is accused of gunning down his neighbor Jason Sheffield in Naples, Florida. The arrest papers say Rodriguez's wife told investigators that she heard a noise around midnight and was worried a wild animal was attacking the farm animals in her backyard. She says her husband looked and said he thought it might be a bear, got a rifle, fired a warning shot and another around waist high into the dark, then went back to bed. Next morning, Rodriguez found his neighbor dead on his neighbor's property, phoned 911, and said it was an accident.
Former Congressman George Santos will pay $35,000 after the federal regulator overseeing prediction markets found he engaged in what's called manipulative activity over whether he would or would not attend the State of the Union address earlier this year. And Santos will forfeit several $1,000s in alleged winnings. Dave Packer, ABC News.
New tonight, police body camera footage from Sunday's shooting at the Bite of Seattle. That's after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. It is so busy out there. Where to start? Let's go in Parkland, eastbound 512 at Portland Avenue. You've got a collision blocking your left lane. You're backed up to I-5. That is a solid backup. Tacoma to Olympia, back up a bit to a 1-hour drive. 17 miles of scattered backups between JBLM and Olympia, starting near Berkeley Avenue. We do have a nice 4-mile clear patch there through Nisqually. Olympia to Tacoma, 55 minutes, 7 miles of backups between Lacey and Nisqually, and then more backups now through South Tacoma. Both directions of I-5 are heavy between Fife and State Route 18. Both directions of 405 are crawling through South Center, and northbound 405 right at State Route 169. Your right lane is blocked by a new stall. North 5 through Seattle, we're packed from the Michigan Curve now to the Ship Canal Bridge. Half hour to get through this. South 5 is heavy from 130th and Northgate to I-90. It's a 1-hour commute from Linwood. Southbound 99, a good alternate, but it's bumper to bumper from the zoo to the stadiums. And Everett to Marysville struggling, taking a half hour. North 5 is jam-packed from 526 up to 528. And northbound 529 also solid between Everett and Marysville. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. The chaotic moments following Sunday's Bite of Seattle shooting now being seen and heard on police body cameras. Officers are shown rushing to reports of the gunfire, tending to the wounded, giving CPR to some.
He's okay. We're not just apply pressure to it, okay? Yes, that's fine. We got lots of medics coming.
Shooting injured 4 people and killed 3 others, including 2 bystanders and a 19-year-old suspect. That police footage also shows officers taking the alleged 15-year-old shooter away in handcuffs. Interim Chief Andre Sayre says they're closing in on other people involved, but for now, police are not releasing suspect descriptions.
I do not want our police department to be put in a bad situation where we're arresting the wrong person. I wish I could give you that information right now, but for the integrity of that investigation, we want to keep that close to the vest right now.
Today, Mayor Katie Wilson introduced Sayles as interim chief, but as KIRO News Radio's James Lynch tells us, she also dodged many questions about why former chief Sean Barnes resigned.
As to why she asked Barnes for his resignation, the mayor said only that there were multiple reasons, then cited gaps in communication between her office and SPD the night of the shooting.
Our after-action review of the city's communications with the public and the media revealed real gaps. Information could and should have gone out much faster through social media, the emergency alert system, the SPD blotter, and/or an off-site press conference.
The mayor accepted blame for not using the community alert system Sunday night, but for nothing else that has happened in the 5 days since. At City Hall, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Today, Sound Transit laid out a path to bring light rail to Ballard by 2042.
To make it happen, the agency says it needs to find about $1 billion in savings or new revenue by 2030 and close the remaining funding gap by 2033. Sound Transit board member and King County Executive Gurmai Zahalai said in May that the Ballard community deserves light rail.
This would be the only urban regional center that's not connected to light rail.
That month, the ST3 plan was updated to fully fund the line, but only to Seattle Center. If Sound Transit doesn't come up with the cash, then service to Ballard could slip to 2060. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
So your forecast now going to be a bit of a breezy weekend for western Washington. A few light rain showers in the mix along with some clouds. Extremely critical fire weather conditions meantime east of the Cascades for tomorrow. Drier on Sunday and temperatures sticking around the low 70s for both Saturday and Sunday. Right now, 81 degrees, sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the John Curley Show. I am Angela Poe Russell, along with the Spike O'Neill. I'm going to just keep saying that, calling you the Spike O'Neill,
sure,
because
I
just don't know anyone else like you. We've had a great time talking about some news that impacts all of us, and we're going to dip our toes into some news like national news, because oftentimes some of these decisions, some of these headlines impact all of us, right? And in this case, we are talking about the, face-off, if you will, between Donald Trump, a couple of Republicans, and in regards to the nomination of Todd Blanche as Attorney General.
Oh, the acting Attorney General.
The acting Attorney General, yes, the confirmation, yes.
Yeah.
So,
what do you
yeah, I basically want it, because what I'm hearing is that Donald Trump would rather pull his nomination than agree to the terms that these Republicans have set.
So the latest we have, and it changes almost hourly. Yesterday, you reported, as you just said, the reporting was President Trump had threatened to pull the nomination of acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, who is, of course, the president's former defense attorney.
Yes.
In his legal cases.
Which is why some people have an issue, because this was your personal attorney. Yeah.
That's been the point of contention with hearings of the Congressional Senate Judiciary Committee, who oversees. As it is now, the Judiciary Committee has to pass the nominee onto a vote by the full Senate for confirmation. The Attorney General is essentially a cabinet member, though it's not called a secretary, but it needs Senate confirmation. 2 senators, as you mentioned, are just saying they will not vote for the confirmation to move him out of Judiciary Committee of Todd Blanche unless the acting Attorney General puts in writing that the president's lawsuit between Donald Trump versus the IRS, United States government, the weaponization of
anti-weaponization
right.
fund.
So what happened in this case, and if you don't know, I apologize for getting deep in the weeds, but I love this kind of stuff. President Trump felt that the U.S. government had been weaponized against him and sued the IRS. So President Trump, representing the IRS as president and Donald Trump as defendant, went before a case in court, and the judge in that case said, there's really no victim here. There's no adversarial, you're suing yourself and you're settling with yourself. The judge said, show me how this is an adversarial case. And before the deadline that the 2 parties, Donald Trump and his own government, could come and show that, they settled for $1.776 billion for the anti-weaponization reparations fund, if you will. And then also a secondary attachment that Todd Blanche wrote saying that the Trump family, the Trump business, Donald Trump himself, could not be audited by the IRS for tax issues, ever. The judge in that case said this is completely garbage, and they threw that case out. The judge in Florida, I believe, threw that case out, says there's no adversary here. You're suing yourself and settling with yourself. This does not fly. This case is just a pretense for you to settle with yourself and give yourself a fat slush fund. All that being said, these 2 senators at the Judiciary Committee, Tillis and Cornyn of Texas, both of which, by the way, were primaried out of existence by Donald Trump in the previous primaries. These guys are in their swan song of Senate service. They said they will not vote to confirm and move him out of committee, Todd Blanche, unless he puts in writing that this attempt to have a $1.776 billion slush fund, reparation fund, to compensate those who were victims of weaponization, the J6ers, essentially. So if you put it in writing that this thing is a dead stick, then we'll pass him out of committee. And Blanche says they won't put it in writing, even though he said.
That seems like an easy thing to do. Like, this is standing in the way. You got this big position, and all you have to do is put in writing that you won't create this fund.
That this judge saying it's wrong, that it's a dead issue. In fact, Todd Blanche, during his Senate hearings a couple weeks ago, said numerous times under sworn testimony that they're not pursuing this. This is not. That's no longer an issue. We're not going to pursue this fund. They said, well, we don't believe you. We don't believe your sworn testimony. We want it in writing. That's how much they think of Todd Blanche's integrity. These 2 senators.
And all the other Republicans are okay with it.
They're already on board with getting him moved forward.
They're okay with potentially having this thing. Interesting.
You know, and this is a guy, Todd Blanche, with this case that went to Donald Trump suing his own government. And the judge said this is ridiculous and threw it out. That judge recommended that the New York Bar Association reviewed Todd Blanche's law license for improperly bringing a case, frivolously bringing a case into their court representing both sides of an issue. Here's a guy who may lose his law license if the New York Bar reviews him and says, you're right, this is completely inappropriate. Lawyers shouldn't do this. You decided to do it anyway. This guy's up for nomination of Attorney General. And all they got to do is, agree to not take $1.776 billion of our money for the president to reward people that he feels were weaponized against. These were peaceful protesters, and that seems like a no-brainer to write that down and say we're not going to pursue that. But yesterday, President Trump saying, no, these people were horribly treated. They were hunted like animals. Their lives were destroyed by the Biden Biden Justice Department.
Okay.
He's not letting it go.
Well,
that's why he won't let Blanche put it in writing. That's why those senators won't confirm him.
Well, I guess, as an African American, I feel like I need Donald Trump to be an advocate for reparations for black people then.
Sure.
I mean, for all the other people who have been wronged. I mean, where do we stop?
I know that my point of view of this presidency, and it's all that it entails. President Trump today is really leaning into Senate Republicans saying, look, get this guy confirmed. The Senate goes on summer break at the end of next week. And although Trump has threatened to pull this nomination until Tillis and Cornyn are out of office, he says, I'll just wait till I get 2 other senators that are on my team, and we'll push this guy forward. We'll pull the nomination. Now they're saying they want him confirmed because now they realize they may lose the Senate in the midterm elections. They may lose the House. They want him confirmed now. Marco Rubio is quoted as saying, today, Todd Blanche has been an invaluable partner in advancing President Trump's agenda, and as a result of his leadership at the Department of Justice. The Attorney General's job is not to advance the president's agenda. That's not the Attorney General's job. The Attorney General's job is to be the highest lawyer, the law enforcement officer, the highest law enforcement officer in America. It doesn't work for the president. It works for you, me, and every other taxpayer. He's a legal advisor to the president. Mm-hmm. The Justice Department oversees full and equal application of the law. He doesn't work that right there. He's an invaluable partner in advancing the president's agenda. The question is, are you the president's lawyer or are you the people's lawyer? Rubio just gave it away. They don't see this guy as the people's lawyer. They see this guy as the president's lawyer. How's this guy even a nominee for Attorney General?
That statement blows my mind. I mean, it should not be addressing anyone's agenda, right? But the people's agenda.
An invaluable partner advancing President Trump's agenda. That's not the job of the Attorney General.
Yikes!
You think Marco Rubio would know that?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the adult in the room.
This is like another episode of As the World Turns.
As the White House turns.
We are how far in now?
To this administration?
Yes.
This round of 16 months?
Yeah.
17 months.
Okay,
maybe?
And then Seattle, we got our own As the World Turns.
We got our own drama, our daytime drama. Yeah, we do.
But are we too...
Thank you. The continuing story As the White House Turns. I use Behind the Gates, but it's already been used.
Oh. I love this.
This portion brought to you today by delicious mountain-grown Folgers. Mountain-grown for rich flavor. And by Mild Ivory Liquid, the dishwashing liquid with long-lasting suds.
That's why they called them soap operas, by the way.
That was awesome.
Advertising.
That is
awesome.
They
used to be brought to you by delicious Marlboro cigarettes. 4 to 5 doctors recommend Marlboro for their expecting mothers who want to keep that birth weight down.
I think this is a perfect segue into the question of, is Seattle too down on itself? Are we on the outside too hard on each other? There is a you call him tech bro.
Tech bro.
I'll just call him Jacob Kolker. He's the co-founder of AI House. Let me set the stage. I don't know how many of you know, but this week was Seattle Tech Week. It was a week-long slate of events, panels, parties, networking events, just all kinds of wonderful things happening this week with innovative people doing really cool things in Seattle.
I'm completely oblivious.
Yeah, so during one of the events, Jacob Kolker, the founder of AI House, he gave a passionate speech about Seattle. And he says, we have become numb to the magic. It was so inspirational that GeekWire did a whole story on it. And I think he brings up some really good points. So we're going to take a few minutes and hear a little bit of his speech, and we'll talk about it.
I'm here because Seattle is at the forefront and has an opportunity to have a massive impact on this next wave of technology. But we are missing a major piece of making that happen. That's what we're trying to build here at AI House. Now, I'll tell you this. First, I want to tell you a really fun story. When I was a kid, When I was a kid, I went to go see Cirque du Soleil. Anybody here been to Cirque du Soleil? Come on, it's amazing,
We've
right?
been to Cirque du Soleil.
I remember walking into Cirque du Soleil and seeing people doing flips and looking up and seeing flying horses flying over my head. Like, it was incredible. How is this real? How is this actually possible in life that this exists? And then I took my family back a few years ago to Merrimore Park. And we went and saw Cirque du Soleil. We walked out saying, yeah, you know what? Flying horses. I've seen that, right? And I think that's the thing. We get numb to the magic. And I'll tell you what, that's what's happening right here in Seattle. Because I will tell you this, I have been relentless on LinkedIn the last few months talking about how awesome Seattle is. And I will tell you that we have flying horses in every corner of this city. 40% of the entire world every day gets on an airplane built here.
Woohoo!
Microsoft, Amazon, our two hometown heroes were created here. The cloud was invented here. We literally created the cloud. AI would not be possible without the cloud, and we did that here. Speaking of Microsoft and Amazon, Microsoft owns 27% of OpenAI. Amazon owns 15% of Anthropic. And when those two companies IPO, that will be a $500 billion return to two companies headquartered right here in Seattle. The single largest...
Okay, so I'm going to stop this and I'm going to play the other part.
This guy will not shut up.
I know, but he talked about health and science too.
Seattle health innovations have saved 100 million lives. We invented bone marrow transplants, kidney dialysis, the defibrillator, smallpox eradication. All of that came through Seattle. And I'll tell you what, the most important thing and the most amazing thing is the talent that exists in this region.
All right, and check this out. Hold on, it gets
better. On top of that, we've got the University of Washington, the number 6 university in the world.
That's true, in the world.
In Seattle. And it wasn't built by some medieval king. It wasn't endowed by some oil baron on the East Coast. Firefighters and loggers and teachers and fishermen created this university over the last 150 years. They built it to be the number 6 university in the world. And then they made it accessible. In-state tuition at UW is $13,000 compared to $65,000 at Harvard or Stanford, which means the kid whose parents are paying rent month to month can go get a top 6 education for 1/5 the cost.
That's if we can get in. That's if we get in. But here's the one. This is the end, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, I thought it was good too. Okay, here's the part.
If we have all of these ingredients, why are we missing something? What's going on? And that is the thing. We have all this magic. We have flying horses everywhere. But we're walking around like somebody stole our lunch. Like we're waiting on the Bay Area's permission to be great. We are great. We are great.
We are great. We are great. Right? Okay, so I'll give my reaction later, but what was your reaction to hearing some of that?
It's nice to be reminded of all that we have going for this city with regard to our educated workforce, the resources in the area, the amount of tech that is invested here and was born here and continues to thrive here, because we forget about it. We hear so many stories, and I understand that it's necessary, and they're not wrong when they say that this state has become a less than welcome business environment state in recent years. We went from top 5 cities to do business in America to, I think we're bottom 5 of the country these days because of taxation and the head tax and all these different things. You see people like Amazon moving out of town. You see Starbucks moving into Tennessee because for more attractive business climates. That's what Seattle was able to offer these startup companies, Amazon, Microsoft, all the tech that's here that we quote, the bio research that's here, because we were able to offer these tax suite opportunities. But you can only do that for so long, and now other states are offering those opportunities to people. We have a tax base that's leaving, and the Democratic response is to raise taxes on everybody and make that sweet, rich environment less sweet and less rich.
Are you trying to rain on my parade?
Not at all, but not at all. I mean, you can't keep, you've heard you can't keep doing what you're doing and expect different results. That's the definition of insanity, right? Unless we address the fact of what's driving these businesses out of town, we may not have all these amazing innovators wanting to. We need. There was a story in the GeekWire thing. You said there was a $1 billion investment in an AI startup here in Seattle.
Yes. Yes.
So
they're coming. Yeah, they're coming here. Yeah, despite what's happening. But you bring up a good point, because when I was talking about this story earlier today with someone else, they said, "Yep, we're great, but are we going in the right direction?" And I was like,
Well, for example, Tennessee gave away the farm to get Starbucks to relocate their corporate headquarters, at least a portion of it. They want to expand to the southeast. I love how Starbucks says, "Seattle will always be home." Yeah, and I always got a room at my mom's house.
Yeah, Pensacola for me.
My lacrosse trophies are in that room. It's a twin bed, but I ain't going back. But it will always be home. Starbucks Seattle will always be home.
Yeah.
But will we be the community that encourages businesses to start here?
Yes.
And not penalize those who have had their start here? Mm-hmm. I mean, for me, I've got a pretty weird perspective on this. I don't think it's not fair for other states to offer these opportunities tax-wise. It's not a level playing field.
It's not fair.
Well,
you won.
No. If you're making your money here, you made your fortune here, and when it comes time to pay taxes into the place that you use to grow your business, rather than pay for the opportunity this state provided, we're going to take this opportunity. We're not going to move it down to Tennessee.
That's a valid argument.
We're going to build it here, and rather than pay into the community that allowed us to use the roads and all these different things that it takes for a company to thrive.
Right.
They hired a lot of people. I get all that. But now that it's come times to pay the fiddler for what we let you build, we're just going to take this and go somewhere else and give us and hopscotch to their tax opportunity.
Great point. Well, I hope at the end of the day that his speech is a reminder that we have been amazing. We are amazing.
No, and
we may be going in a direction. Yeah. But at the heart of us, we can do this. We are great. We're good stuff. Yeah. The bones are good.
Yeah.
The bones are good in Washington, Seattle. All right. Let's go to Nate in the traffic center.
All right, Seattle Mariners have the busy update. We've got a new collision out in Bremerton at southbound 3 just past Kitsap Way. A rollover crash blocking your 2 left general purpose lanes. So right now, traffic is squeezing by on the right exit lane. Over to Parkland, we just cleared our earlier collision eastbound 512 at Portland Avenue. That earlier backup has thinned out as well. Tacoma to Olympia, 55 minutes. We're still packed between JBLM and DuPont. Then you got a few miles of clearing through Nisqually. Then another backup between Lacey and Olympia. Coming the other way, Olympia to Tacoma is still at 55 minutes. Still dealing with about 7 miles of backups between Lacey and Nisqually, starting near Martin Way, and then more backups between Lakewood and South Tacoma. Both directions of 405 are just crawling through South Center. North 5 in Seattle is packed from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. South 5 jams up from Northgate to I-90. Still a 1-hour drive from Linwood in the downtown. Southbound 99 is still thick from the zoo to the stadiums. And Everett to Marysville has gone up a few minutes to 35 minutes. North 5 jam-packed from 526 to 528, and northbound 529 also packed between Everett and Marysville. Don't miss the biggest event of the year at T-Mobile Park, 50 Seasons Celebration Night on August 8th, presented by Daktronics. Get your tickets at mariners.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty. 6:30. All right, I'm so excited to be talking with Phil Mitchell. He's a new advertiser to the show. He owns Sunset Auto Family. Phil, welcome.
Thanks, Jake.
You guys offer something that I think is so valuable. We have so many listeners in our audience who are business owners and a lot of people who are driving commercial vehicles. You guys are basically like a perfect silent partner because you offer repairs for life on these commercial vehicles. Tell me about that.
Well, basically, repairs for life means any vehicle that we repair for over $250, we're going to cover that repair for as long as you own the vehicle. So if you got a commercial fleet and you put a transmission in your 250,000-mile truck, we're going to cover that for life.
And you think about the value added there for a small business owner who is trying to stretch every single mile out of these vehicles.
You don't even have to buy the vehicle from us to get the repairs for life. Basically, we want to service your entire fleet. So if you bought your fleet from somewhere else, let us service it. We'll give you repairs for life. We're going to save you thousands.
Love it. Only at Sunset Ford and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Your old water heater's starting to peter.
DayandNight.net. Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Seattle Police today released the body camera footage from Sunday's shooting at the Bight of Seattle, showing officers rushing to aid the wounded.
Get out! Get out!
Officers were seen providing CPR, taking a 15-year-old boy away in handcuffs. Seattle's interim police chief confirms they are still looking for multiple others involved in the gang-related shooting. Interim Chief Andre Sale says he believes they're closing in on potential suspects.
We are working diligently. We are working tirelessly to bring these people to justice. We're going to continue to do that as a police department. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we have it right.
Meanwhile, Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson talking about her decision to ask former police chief Sean Barnes to step down. She says there were multiple factors.
The events of Sunday certainly played into it, and I think we've discussed some of the gaps and lapses that happened. And again, my decision here is based on what I believe is going to be best for this department and for the city moving forward.
She says her office is searching with urgency for a permanent police chief. If your weekend plans take you east of the Cascades, prepare for extreme fire weather. KIRO 7 TV meteorologist Morgan Palmer says the biggest risk is tomorrow.
This is going to be the most dangerous fire weather day we've had this year so far. Particularly dangerous situation is a term that forecasters at the National Weather Service have used for years to talk about tornado watches primarily. Only last year and this year are they able to issue a red flag warning with a particularly dangerous situation tag or designation, meaning it's at the highest of the high risk.
Now here in Seattle, there could be rain just in time for Seafair weekend and the Blue Angels. Scott Sistek with the Emerald City Weather Blog tells Seattle's Morning News.
This weekend's the bummer. It's only rained 10 times since 1894 on August 1st, and this may be number 11. And if you go back on that specific day, it's only rained once on August 1st since 1985.
If it gets too cloudy, the Blue Angels may have to do their low show that limits what kind of maneuvers they could perform. Now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
This was brought to you by Seattle Sports. In Bremerton, southbound 3 just past Kitsap Way, we're on scene of a rollover crash. It's blocking both general purpose lanes. You're able to squeeze by in that right exit lane in about a mile and a half back up to Austin Drive. Tacoma to Olympia and Olympia to Tacoma both are 55 minutes. Southbound I-5 is packed between JBLM and DuPont. You'll clear out to get into Lacey, where there are more scattered backups into Olympia. And then North 5, 7 miles of backups between Lacey and Nisqually, starting near Martin Way. And then more backups through Lakewood and South Tacoma. Northbound 405, we're packed from South Center through the Renton S-curves. South Center to Bellevue's at 35 minutes. That's a 10-minute delay there. North 5 into Seattle, heavy from the Michigan curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. Half hour to get through this. South 5 jams up from Northgate down to I-90. 1 hour trip from Linwood into Seattle. Southbound 99 heavy from the zoo to the stadiums. And northbound I-5 in Linwood just past the interchange. 2 right lanes are blocked as fire crews are battling a brush fire. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Showing mid-80s across the map at this hour. Big cool down, though, for tomorrow with temperatures in the low 70s. And, again, clouds rolling through the next couple of days. Potentially some light rain tomorrow and critical fire weather for central and eastern Washington both. Right now, 84 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This hour, the John Curley Show brought to you by Wilcox Family Farm Eggs.
Yum!
Dun, dun, dun.
Hey.
You guys got the best music.
Don't we have
show.
to come up with an egg dish?
Would you like to? Go ahead.
Well, that's a lot of pressure.
We got to spin the wheel.
You're the cook among us.
We got to spin the wheel and see who gets the recipe.
Oh, okay.
I could jump on the grenade myself and do it if you want.
Spin the wheel.
Let's see who it lands on. And it lands on Ella.
I had a really horrible feeling that would happen. Okay, an egg dish. You know what? I was just eating eggs today. I had 2 Wilcox Farm eggs on top of a bunch of roasted veggies for breakfast, and it was really good and healthy.
Yum!
Yeah.
That
Simple.
sounds awesome. That sounds amazing.
Thank
What
you
kind
so
of
much.
veggies?
It was mostly summer squash and zucchini, but, you know, a couple other things.
Did you fry the eggs?
I did. I made sure that the yolks were still soft,
Solid,
but it was a
yes.
fried egg overall. Yeah.
So it's
I don't know if that's called over
soft?
easy. Yeah.
Over soft? Yeah.
Over soft?
easy?
Over
Yeah.
easy?
That's so healthy.
Nothing worse than
I remember
the hardened yolk is the bane of my existence.
I remember the first time I saw vegetables being served with breakfast. I was like, what? You know, okay, I grew up in maybe this was just my South. I grew up in the South.
Mm-hmm.
And so breakfast was, cereal, Pop-Tart. That's like going to school thing.
Okay.
And then there are pancakes, bacon, eggs, biscuits, grits, fish and grits.
Okay.
So there was never a vegetable.
Fish for breakfast?
You get a fish and grits. Oh, yeah. Fish and grits.
Okay, see, that's cool.
And biscuit, yeah. So the idea of a vegetable the first time so now I've embraced that. Now I will have like a vegetable with, tomato or spinach, something like that.
I like a nice,
but it was newer for me.
I like a nice veggie omelet. I like a nice veggie omelet.
But she had like a whole.
Just vegetables with an egg on top, fried egg on top.
Yeah, that's next level, Spike. Okay, I want to talk about this story because a lot of big movies are coming out. And there is a bit of drama.
Tell me about your lunch, Penny. Sorry. I'm
the
starving.
Seattle Film Commission. The Seattle Film Commission is calling on the Space Needle to put some feature films in the IMAX theater. I did not realize this was no longer happening. I have seen. Okay, so let's give people context. So I've seen a movie in an IMAX theater.
Mm-hmm. Where'd you see it?
I saw it at Pacific Science Center
years ago. It used to be the Boeing IMAX theater.
That's when I saw it, and it was incredible.
Right.
For people who don't know, how would you describe how special an IMAX is? Because I understand it's the ability to see higher, the frame and the sound. It's all those things.
It's also definition. Christopher Nolan's movie, The Odyssey, the reason that the Times wrote this story and that SIF reached out to the Needle, because now it is IMAX at the center. The Space Needle is an independent entity, not part of Seattle Center. A lot of people don't know that.
And the IMAX was sold to them.
Because the Seattle Science Center is also an independent entity, not the city-owned Seattle Center. And the IMAX theater wasn't generating revenue. And we all know that the Science Center they've been kind of retooling themselves. They had to sell the dinosaurs to make rent one.
They sold the dinosaurs?
Remember the dinosaurs? They're gone.
What?
They're gone. They're gone. The pools out front sit empty. It is
okay.
It's so Walking Dead down there
these
days.
Can I just tell you, if you those of you listening, if you have never been to the Pacific Science Center, even with the dinosaurs gone, it is the most amazing place. Like I used to take my kids there once a month.
Same, both our kids.
We have to support that place.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, but the bottom line is they sold it to the Space Needle.
Yes, and the
Space Needle made a big change.
Because it's a financial commitment to bring in first-run movies at an IMAX. And the folks who run the Space Needle said, look, we'll buy the IMAX theater, but we can't keep tooling the money, footing the bill for major theatrical releases. They decided to just go with documentaries. Problem is this latest Odyssey, which was filmed at IMAX. You talk about what differences IMAX is. It's not just that there's a bigger screen to put more action in. The 4K is like the highest definition for movies. IMAX is 12K. I mean the clarity of the images of the photography in IMAX movies is beyond compare. It's like Matt Damon is 30 foot tall and standing right in front of you when you watch the Odyssey. And in the Odyssey, the only place in town that could show it, I think, was SIF Theater, which used to be Cinerama. And so SIF reached out and said, look, Boeing IMAX, Seattle Center IMAX, Space Needle, please bring back theatrical releases to IMAX because some cinema is meant to be seen on an IMAX theater. Did you hear the story of Christopher Nolan, who made The Odyssey?
I've read just through this article. I've read about how much money it's made so far.
So he wanted to film this in IMAX. IMAX projectors are incredibly loud, and they use so much film that they can film in 3-minute bursts before you have to change film.
Wow.
Christopher Nolan they had engineers build these cocoons around the cameras, the IMAX cameras that he used to film The Odyssey. And he told the actors in the middle of these long, involved, dynamic scenes, okay, do you mind? We're going to film for 3 minutes and stop what you're doing, hold that tear, change the film, and go again. They would literally have to stop every scene every 3 minutes. That's how dedicated Christopher Nolan was to making this production in IMAX quality video. And SIF says, look, we need a place in Seattle for film buffs.
And this is the Seattle Film Commission, right?
Yes, Seattle National Film Festival. SIF is the film commission. That's who reached out and asked Boeing to please keep showing.
And what was concerning, you mentioned all this care and how it's an artistic marvel. And the film commission is saying, and so now this Odyssey movie is making like $124 million domestically. It's made $51.8 million in IMAX alone. And they're saying our IMAX is sitting empty.
Right.
And that people are actually leaving our city. They're leaving to go other places where they can find an IMAX. Because this is the only one.
Right. And that's a valid argument, but you're not always going to have the Christopher Nolan blockbusters. That's the thing.
But can you just make it possible when you know the big ones are coming? I would go there to see a movie. To see a feature film. So I don't know why they weren't making money before, if it was marketing or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But
if you've got a release that merits IMAX viewing at least open that theater back up to more than just documentaries, Space Needle.
Like Spider-Man seems like it'd be really cool to see in an IMAX.
In an IMAX, yeah.
That's going on right now. I'm excited about Black Panther coming out in a year and a half or however long it is. I mean, there are movies that definitely would lend themselves, and it just seems to me, since our officials are always saying we are a world-class city, we should have our IMAX, being the center of culture, not the center, but part of the center of cultural life. It's at the Space
We can't be left behind. As a cultural
we don't want
entity.
people leaving the area to go see other IMAX.
And say you get 1 or 2 or 3 theatrical releases a year that you can show in that IMAX theater, then the rest of the time show your documentaries. But make it available to these massive theatrical releases. You mentioned almost half of the domestic gate for the Odyssey in the first 2 weeks has been on IMAX screenings.
Yeah,
you could be paying foot the entire bill. For the whole year of IMAX operation just by showing the Odyssey in there. Is it too late? I mean, because I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it, but I want to see it on an IMAX screen.
Exactly. I don't know if we're going to go out of town for it.
I'm not.
But I love what they said in this letter to the Space Needle folks. They said Seattle should be participating in culture, not watching it happen somewhere else.
Here, amen.
Amen.
Couldn't agree more.
So in this article, did the Space Needle respond yet? Were you able to, Ella, did you get a sense for whether they responded?
I haven't heard anything. I feel like all of this, because of the Odyssey and all like the Spider-Man that's coming out, I feel like it's getting a lot more pressure now because we're talking about films that are meant to be seen in theaters, especially on IMAX screens. And so I wonder what the reaction will be from the Science Center.
There has been no reaction from the Space Needle folks who bought the theater. In response to the 10 members of the Seattle Film Commission who signed this letter saying, please, money issues aside, don't let us be left behind as a culturally significant city.
I have to admit, you have just broken my heart that the dinosaurs are gone.
They're gone.
Like, that's real. That's not fake news.
No, one of the heads was bought by a gentleman who owns a curiosity shop up, I believe it's in Bellingham. We had him on the show when he bought it. He put it up in his curiosity shop. Yeah, they're gone. We looked at buying them. We looked at, how much do you want for it? Because they had an auction.
The Science Center.
I know. Sad.
All right. Well, let's see what's happening on the roads. Nate, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, but the driver's not so well out there. We have a lot of backups all around the Sound this afternoon still. Southbound 3 in Bremerton, let's start with that. Just past Kitsap Way, we've got this ongoing rollover collision blocking 2 left general purpose lanes. You're getting by there on that right exit lane, and you're backed up to Austin Drive. About a mile and a half back up there. Tacoma to Olympia and Olympia to Tacoma are both at 55 minutes. North 5 into Seattle, packed from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. About a half hour to get you through this. South 5 still jam-packed from Northgate all the way into downtown. 1 hour commute from Linwood. Southbound 99 is heavy approaching the Aurora Bridge down to the stadiums. Up in Linwood, North 5 just past the interchange. 2 right lanes are blocked as fire crews are battling a brush fire there up on the hill. North 5 jams up at 44th in Linwood. North 405 jams up at Damson Road in Alderwood. And Everett Marysville still a lengthy half-hour drive. It is packed from 526 all the way up to 528. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
50 seasons, 50 legends, one unforgettable night. Join the Mariners Saturday, August 8th for 50-season celebration night at T-Mobile Park, presented by Daktronics.
The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship.
Before the team takes on the Rays, arrive early for the most epic pregame ceremony in Mariners history. You'll witness the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled as the 50 greatest Mariners from across all 5 decades are revealed. From Griffey to the Big Unit, from Ichiro to Nelson Cruz, and every legend in between, you don't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime event.
Junior with a 2-run home run. Everybody is going bonkers here in the Kingdom.
Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
What would you do if the person you love needed round-the-clock care and you had no plan to pay for it?
I was very worried about running out of money.
When Mike's wife was diagnosed with dementia, he turned to LifePoint Law and Elder Law attorney Rajiv Nagayich.
And then he said, "You're going to be okay, but we have to get through these steps." Then I felt a whole lot better going into it. It was still a very difficult process, but in the end, I knew that there was someone there that if I needed help, understood what I'm going through.
LifePoint Law helped Mike protect his wife, his finances, and his future.
They laid it out really well up front. They give you a very in-depth plan. There are so many things that you don't know. I could never have done it on my own.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Federal Way August 1st, Puyallup on the 4th, Tacoma on the 6th, or Bellevue August 8th. Space is limited, so sign up today at LifePointLaw.com. That's LifePointLaw.com.
We all know a cancer diagnosis is physically and emotionally draining, but it can be financially draining too. That's why Northwest Hope and Healing is here to help. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to be part of Northwest Hope and Healing's mission. We provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare so patients can focus on healing. Since the year 2000, we have distributed over $3 million in direct financial assistance to thousands of local cancer patients. And you can make a direct impact. Mark your calendar for Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel and Spa in Woodinville. It's an unforgettable afternoon of hope and inspiration, celebrating local cancer survivors. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
Welcome back to the John Curley Show with Angela filling in. That's me. And Spike. That's him.
That's me. Nicely done, buddy.
All right. It's time for the letter of the day.
No, the mailman.
No, sorry. The mailman. Yeah. Mailman.
I'm the mailman. As you can see, I'm the mailman. Don't nobody mess with me. I'm the mailman. If you didn't know, I'm the mailman. I bring the mail to your door.
You guys have to get rid of the child that you're employing in this?
He's still around.
Is he okay? Limited work time?
Yeah.
You got to get twins to do that. Got to get twins.
I was so sad when the child stopped playing.
I know. I'm like, hey.
It's the mailman.
That's why most Hollywood shows employ twins.
All right. So would you like to kick us off?
Sure. Well, that's nice. Trucker Joe from Graham says, double duty, Spike, on double days. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're killing it. Sean from Puyallup. Nate, you do a great job on traffic. Clear, thorough, and good energy. That's the same behind the scenes too.
Could you repeat?
Thank you, Nate.
Could you repeat that?
You do.
I'm
a
kidding.
great
I'm kidding.
job.
I'm kidding.
Traffic.
Thank you.
Clear,
thorough.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
energy.
you.
Yeah.
All right, on Katie Wilson and the Seattle Police Department. You want to take that one?
I can shoot one out. Tucker Joe from Graham. Well, the new chief has the same issues. Gone 40 plus days in 7 months.
Well, that's a question mark.
In 7 months?
Yeah, there you go.
Max in the 425 says Chief Barnes was the scapegoat for Katie Wilson's blunder. Everyone could see that. I bet they hired him knowing full well that he was requesting weekends off to visit his family. I bet that was one of the conditions under which Mayor Harrell hired him. I agree with that. There's no way those vacations or official business trips weren't pre-approved. No way in hell.
Yeah, and with Mayor Harrell being up for re-election right after he took the job, I have to imagine he wasn't going to make the big move just yet in terms of family and all that stuff.
And the mayor wants to put their own person in that seat. Most new mayors do.
Yeah. All right, Kirk from Tacoma regarding the mayor's office. Sad that it has literally taken a human tragedy to reveal the reality of the lack of ability and experience to handle basic critical communication and emergency management. I don't care if you are left or right. It is embarrassing. And worst of all, this was predictable. G has never been more right.
I'll save that one, too. He'll love to hear that tomorrow.
John in Enumclaw. Enumclaw? How do you say that?
Enumclaw.
Okay. Katie's window, quote, in is made of obscure glass. Just saying.
Okay, CJ and Bothell, the mayor's comments about a super secret window was an arrogant way of saying, I know more than you. I got that same vibe. I have a window to the police department that others don't have. Sorry, city council, I know more than you do.
Okay. Liz and McKenna, I understand attending conferences, etc. I also know that a police chief is rarely a boots-on-the-ground position. However, I believe that a police chief should be in town during any type of large event in a city where crime and short staffing are an issue.
You know, that's fair. The mayor, the chief did say, I wish I had a crystal ball, I would have been out of town. But you know when the bite was?
Yeah, but would you argue in summer in Seattle, there is a festival every weekend? I mean, FIFA just happened. The Seafair is this weekend.
I've heard other comments said that, look, this police department was already stretched thin after World Cup. And maybe there was a breakdown of communication amongst the SPD. It may have been because they were, giving people time off after World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
And folks have,
that could have been it. Yep.
We've got a lot about those.
Should we go down?
Yeah, Angela's strange AI bot. Ed in Bremerton says, I've talked to AI bots. I harass the stupid bot every time.
Okay, Angela, I would have guessed your voice is from the Northwest.
Yeah.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Shall I?
Yes, you shall.
Thank you. It's been first off, folks. Andrew, great job. Nate, of course. Ella, thank you so much.
Thank
Angela,
you.
always a pleasure to work with you. Our letter of the day comes from Daniel in Tacoma. If we can't have Curly, I love this duo. Keep up the fun show. Well, thank you, Daniel.
We are quite the pair. We are quite the pair. Yeah.
You're great.
I kind of think you're cool.
You too, bud.
That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. Didn't write no more. Didn't write no more. She left the gloom hanging round my front.
All right, and on that note, let's give it to Nate. Thank you so much, Nate.
Who does a great job. It says right here.
Oh,
and you're thorough and clear.
Thorough, good energy.
Yeah, hang that one up around the... Bremerton, southbound 3, just past Kitsap Way. Still got a rollover crash blocking 2 left lanes. So you're just squeezing by there in the right exit lane. You're in a 1.5 miles solid backup there to Austin Drive. Tacoma to Olympia has improved to 45 minutes. Scattered backups between JBLM and Olympia. Olympia to Tacoma is at 50. North 405 bumper to bumper from South Center to the VMAC. South Center to Bellevue plan on a half hour. It's a 10-minute delay. And Bellevue to South Center is at 40 minutes. Slow from 520 to the VMAC. And North 5 just past that Linwood interchange, 2 right lanes remain blocked as fire crews are battling a brush fire. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Insulation rebates from PSE are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSE insulation rebates last year, more than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSE trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you crawl.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. What a week on the water. According to naturalists from Puget Sound Express, guests were able to see humpbacks, Biggs orcas, minke whales, a gray whale, Pacific white-sided dolphins, harbor porpoises, stellar and California sea lions, harbor seals with new pups, a sea otter, bald eagles, and dozens of tufted puffins. Highlights included the T-38 orca family hunting along the shoreline, humpbacks Pinnacle and Rumble feeding in the Strait, and more than 100 harbor seals hauled out at Protection Island. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds, Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Morning tours sell out quickly, so don't forget about afternoon departures. Orcas, humpbacks, gray whales, minke whales, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Subscribe to the Jake and Spike YouTube channel and watch live or later.
142 striking workers in Washington State have collected benefits for the unemployment that they're now entitled to, per law in Washington, worth $506,000.
I'm not crazy about it. I get it that it's great that you're standing up for workers, but there's no risk.
You're voluntarily saying, I'm going to step away
I'm
from
stepping
my
away.
pay, and I'd like somebody else to pay it. That doesn't seem fair.
Jake and Spike, weekdays noon to 3 on KIRO News Radio.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those words weren't written for history books. They were written for you. But it's hard to pursue happiness when aging is part of everyday life. John Curley here. Longevity Medical Clinic was created to help people with overall wellness and longevity, including diabetes management, heart health, weight management, inflammation reduction, nutrition, cognitive health, hormone therapy, and more. I can tell you from personal experience being a patient for 17 years, I have a richer, fuller life, and I'm better able to pursue my own happiness. As America celebrates 250 years of independence, give yourself the chance to reclaim yours. Independence from aging. Take control of your health before small issues become big problems. Experience a smarter, proactive approach to aging, backed by decades of experience with longevity. Do what I did and feel like yourself again. Get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out how at lmclinic.com.
Jake and Spike.
There's a rule.
Noon to 3.
If someone can do something about it, you tell them.
That's a good rule.
If they can't do something about it, you don't say anything.
Were they worried about the awkwardness?
That's on them.
Subscribe to the Jake and Spike YouTube channel and watch live or later.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old